Hey, everybody. Welcome to the On Texas Football Watch Along. I am right along the Cotton Bowl. I'm about probably a 7-iron with a good strike to the Cotton Bowl. I'm at Fair Park. Aaron Hogan coming to you live. Just wrapped up our 102.7 ESPN coverage, and we're ready to roll for the 120th meeting of Texas and Oklahoma. He is Jerry Hamilton from his hotel room not far from here in the Big D, Dallas. Of course, Matthew produces. We'll have great guests. Jerry, how are you, buddy?
I'm great, man. It was fun over at the fair this morning. We did our pregame show at the Yingling tent. Saw you setting up over there, Aaron. Look, I'm excited. Hey, if it's anything like the Alabama-South Carolina game that just ended, I'm not sure Texas or Oklahoma fans could handle that type of game. So I don't know, Aaron, if you saw the ending to this game, but it was wild between South Carolina and Alabama. But it's go time for Texas. Huge game for the Longhorns today, obviously. First time since 1984 being ranked number one, playing in the Red River Rivalry game. And look, everything's right there in front of this team. This is why you have this big experienced offensive line. This is why you have a third-year starting quarterback. This is why you add Johnny Nansen to the defensive staff with PK. This is the game. And this is the team that Sark's been waiting to have in Austin with all this experience. And he has had good staff continuity. Then when he had a change, Jeff Choate went to Nevada. He adds Johnny Nansen, somebody who he has history with, coaching that mixes well with PK. So it's a huge game for the Horns. It's interesting to me, Aaron. I said this on the pregame. You know, I was talking to somebody last Friday. People can take a guess where I was. And we're talking about the Texas team. And after you beat Alabama on the road, and after you go to the college football playoff, and by the way, they're saying 16 minutes till game time, so we have a little while here. And then they go and win at Michigan. This team becomes big game hunters. It's hard for these guys. It's hard for staff to get these guys up for UTSA, UL Monroe, and Mississippi State back-to-back weeks. These kids are looking forward to the Michigan game, the Oklahoma game, the Georgia game, the game at A&M. I mean, they've become big game hunters. On the flip side, Oklahoma, it's been a while, maybe since the Davis Bevel year, Bobby brought that up, but it's been a while if you throw that game out since Oklahoma has been a heavy underdog going into one of these games. And that was 05 with VY. And the team's been told they're not going to win for 2 straight weeks, Aaron. That creates something in the underdog.
100%. I mean, and I'll say this for Oklahoma, they're certainly, even in their pretty ugly start offensively, 121st in total offense, there's a lot of fight in the dog. I mean, they fought like hell to stay in the Tennessee game, even though they were getting dominated. Their defense never quit, and they fought like hell in the Auburn game. That's how they were able to win the game. So they're not going to go away. I just don't know how big and strong the dog is becomes the question. I guarantee you this Oklahoma team will fight today.
No doubt.
Because they're going to go like a pack of dogs for Brent Venables. But, you know, they got to have some horses here. Texas is going to be coming in with the intensity that comes with losing this game 1 year ago in heartbreaking fashion and the sting of that loss. You're right about this. But the one thing that's for sure, right, this rivalry goes in waves and it goes in cycles. And Texas, you know, for a 10-year run where they went 2-8, you know, they were going up against, you know, great quarterbacks and, you know, the CD Lambs of the world and the great receiving corps, the great NFL talent. Now it feels like it's Texas that has flipped that, where they have the NFL quarterback and they have the NFL skill talent around a great offensive line. And Oklahoma is trying to find its offensive identity and find who it's going to be on that side of the ball. Texas fans have been there. They understand that can be frustrating. You can try to keep yourself in the game, but it's hard to win consistently when the other team has that many great players and that many good coaches.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, and that's what's in front of it. It's a great point, Aaron. By the way, it's looking pretty windy back there.
Yes, it is. When I will say for our audience that's watching at home, it's hot as hell. It's going to be the hottest day on record for this game. But there is a prevalent 20, 25-mile-an-hour breeze, 15 to 25 probably. It's out of the south to the north, so it will impact some decision-making today and maybe some passes into that wind. For Michael Hawkins and Quinn Ewers, there will be a factor. You just saw it blow over my umbrella here, but I'll let this umbrella whack me in the head, because if I didn't have an umbrella, I'd be baking under this Texas sun, because it is warm and there's not a cloud in the sky. So high sky, wind will play a factor in special teams.
Hey, by the way, Aaron, I was out there obviously for our pregame and walking around. Is it me, or are there even more people there this year. It feels like there are more people in the fair this year on game day than there have been. And maybe that's because it's a 2:30 start, but it seems more packed than it has been in years for me.
Yeah, I think the kick time is going to lead to that because you can get here and stay longer. And you're right about that. I mean, it's been a packed house since we got here about 9 o'clock this morning. So I think that observation is right. It's, you can only get so many in the stadium, but the fair is certainly hopping.
Yeah, and so I just want to say, for the fans out there, we've had a whole week to talk about this game. I'm excited as you guys are to watch this. We'll have Bob Shipley join, Rod Babers as usual. I'll be on for the post-game show. We'll have Bobby, Brian Robeson, and Rod. So we have a lot of content coming for you guys. Thanks to all you guys who have joined in. I know this is going to keep growing by the minute as we get closer to game time and throughout the game. My keys for this game, though, Aaron, we talked on radio yesterday, and we've talked a lot. This is an offensive line game for Texas, to me. This is why you recruited all these guys. You have multiple NFL draft picks. Both of your tackles are going to be drafted. Your center's experience, your left guard's experience. DJ Campbell's getting more experience. Cole Hudson is a third-year guy who started his freshman year, who was hurt a lot last year. This is a very experienced offensive line. This is a very talented offensive line. There's going to be a number of draft picks on this offensive line. And this is that 2022 class. This was the start for Steve Sarkisian at Texas. When Kelvin Banks and Cam Williams flipped from Oregon to Texas, DJ Campbell signed, kept that a secret. And it's kind of funny because Oklahoma kept recruiting him. They showed up on his basketball games, and nobody ever knew he'd signed his letter with Texas in December. But this is that offensive line class. This is just 22 classes game to me. And there's 4 or 5 games this year where I thought the offensive line had to play at extremely high level. The first one was Michigan, which they did. Second one's this week. Third one is Georgia. And the fourth one is at A&M. You could argue Kentucky's going to need to be. But if the Texas offensive line plays at a very high level, that puts so much pressure on the Oklahoma offensive line to turn around and have their best game of the season, because they have struggled this year. Now, Oklahoma people say they're going to be more healthy than they've been all season for this game, but they still have to go do it as a unit and actually play well, which they have not done this year. They've had 4 different starting rotations on the offensive line. That's not where you want to be after 6 games. So this is an offensive line game. If Texas offensive line plays at the Michigan level, then that helps negate Oklahoma's front 7 strength. If A&M's offensive line doesn't have their best game of the season with the wide receivers injured, you just wonder how they're going to score the football without busted coverages.
I agree. It is. It's rip and replicate the Michigan game plan. Play fast. You get Quinn in a rhythm early with that. Remember that first drive that ended up in a missed field goal in Ann Arbor, Jerry? It was 9 passes and 3 runs. I think you'll see that. Trying to get Quinn, who hadn't played in a month, get some rust taken off. And that Brett Venables would try to come after him early. And, but that's where the quick passing game comes in and his play calling and scripting of plays. I think the keys for me are exactly what you said, Jerry, but also remedy the ills of last year. The red zone issues that left field, points on the field. The turnovers and red zone issues were the reason they lost last year, and then their 2-minute defense in the end. But, we saw it at Michigan. The difference, go back to the Red River game 1 year ago, Jerry, and it was, 3 trips into the red area, 3 points total. At Michigan in the first half, they got in the red zone 3 times and scored 3 touchdowns and put 21 points on the board. That created that separation that's what you want Oklahoma to have to deal with, which is chase against the number 2 defense in the country.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And to your point, Aaron, you brought up a good point. Texas has scored touchdowns in the red zone this year. And you point to the Michigan game for that. You expect to score touchdowns in the red zone against Colorado State, UTSA, UL Monroe, and even Mississippi State because everybody else has. Texas has to be this needs to be their best game of the season in the red zone. Because I do think Oklahoma, Brent Venables, presents different challenges in the red zone than even Michigan did, especially because there's more tape with this Texas team. They had a week to prepare. And those Oklahoma linebackers, I think they really show up in coverage in the red zone because they got the long arms and the big bodies. And that takes away a lot of your short middle stuff, your middle stuff in the red zone. And goes back to that interception that Quinn threw when JT Sanders had the bad ankle and he didn't leave his feet to go get the football. A lot of people put that INT on Quinn. if you see, he had to change the trajectory of that ball because Oklahoma's long arm linebacker got in his vision. They had so it's going to be the red zone. Texas is going to have to be on point in the red zone today because I do think Oklahoma's linebackers present a different challenge in the red zone. The other thing for me is no turnovers. No turnovers in your own territory. You have to make Oklahoma drive the length of the field in this game.
100%, 100%. Yep. And that's something Texas is 24 touchdowns and 27 red zone trips this year, which is, this is something they've worked on all offseason, point of emphasis, putting the ball in the end zone. And then, the factor you mentioned of being careful as you get into the red area, that's when they get the most opportunistic. But, let's be honest, Oklahoma's not a great team right now. The rivalry's there, the dogs are there, but the Auburn game, the Auburn fans in the student section was leaving. It was so one-sided. They were up 21-7. They were trying to kick a field goal to go up 24-7. And I think they've let their foot off the gas a little bit. The fans left, and, Oklahoma never stopped playing, and that's to their credit. And, Auburn kind of got loose on defense and allowed some points, and then the pick six, and that really changed the game. So Texas is the superior side here. At the end of the day, it's a rivalry game, but you still have to have the Jimmies and the Joes to go play. We saw this 2 years ago when it ended up 49-0. When it's one-sided, sometimes you can just roll it up. And I think Texas, they have this thing is lined up for them schedule-wise so well, Jerry.
Yes.
To have, the week off, the fresh legs for the team because they really haven't had any high-leverage halves in the second half of any of these games to kind of tax this team. Oklahoma's had, tough, hard-fought games, even with Houston and Tulane. They've had the Auburn game and that hard-hitting Tennessee game. Texas is fresher and I think should be faster today. And they have the incentive of two things, Jerry, getting to watch last week where don't take anybody lightly. Anything can happen. So not that it ever would in this game, but at the same time, you have the sting of 365 days ago and what happened on this field. Those guys remember that. Quinn Ewers probably playing in his final Red River game knows that. These guys from Dallas remember what that was like leaving. I think Texas has it all lining up for them in a good way right now.
Yeah, I do too. And look, and we're just sitting here talking about the game to your point, Aaron, but Texas is a 17-point favorite for a reason, or 14.5 this morning, whatever you want to say that line is or was. Texas is the favorite in this game. If Texas plays a clean game, they should win this football game. I mean, there's no doubt. I want to be clear that's where we're coming from on this, or I am. Texas, it's a rivalry game, and anything can happen, and I get it, but Texas is the better team. And Texas should win this football game if they play a relatively clean football game. I think that's the main thing. And if this game gets ugly and there's a bunch of turnovers and then you get some of those weird like NCAA tournament momentum swings, because Aaron, I say this is the only college football game I've ever been to that feels like an NCAA tournament game where it just feels like your season can be over at times in that stadium with some of these momentum swings. It's not, but it feels like it. But the only way to me, Oklahoma can pull this thing off is if they make it a really ugly game. And Texas has to aid in that. They have to turn it over. They have to have a bunch of penalties that put themselves behind the chains. They have to help make it ugly.
Yeah, and you're right about that, Jerry. And to your point earlier, if Texas has a clean offensive line game at a clean pocket for Quinn, I think that's how you get to a clean game. I think of this game back in 2009 when Texas won it 16-13, but Gerald McCoy and that Oklahoma defensive line really wreaked havoc on Texas, and they had to fight their way to win. That's the same kind of game. That was a Landry Jones quarterback Oklahoma team. That's the kind of game they need here. They need that game. And you think of the game we've heard about all week, about 2015, the last time the point spread was this large was 16.5 when Oklahoma had Baker Mayfield and they won 11 games that year. Texas beat them as a 1-4 team because why? Because Baker Mayfield and Oklahoma, didn't take them seriously, punched down in weight class, and Texas found a way to win that game. Texas has to. I'll say it this way, Jerry: if Texas plays sloppy, I think it's a real close game, maybe a nail biter. If Texas plays clean, they win. To lose the game, Texas has to play a really sloppy game, in my opinion.
I totally agree with that. And then the sloppy could be holds on 2nd and 1 that takes you out of field goal position. It could be miscues in special teams, giving up big returns. It could be a fumble, interception in your own territory. I mean, all those things. It has to be those sloppy errors, or Oklahoma show some things offensively with Michael Hawkins they just haven't all season, and it catches Texas by surprise. And then it gets to be like that Mississippi State game where that can be an ugly game too, because it's just like they just hold the ball, they're moving the chains, Texas offense on the side lines, Texas can't really get them off the field. That can look like a sloppy game as well if you turn it over around it. But as Rod always says, I mean, who's going to switch it up offensively? Who's going to do that? And I think it's going to be Oklahoma that tries early.
Yeah, they want it to be a rock fight, and that's what they're going to need in this game. As we are now approaching the kickoff, teams are on the field. Texas came on the field first. Oklahoma will follow them, and I'm not close to the Cotton Bowl, Jerry. I can hear the cannon going off, and I can hear the crowd going crazy. This is the Embarcadero building, and it's just right on the other side of that is where the Cotton Bowl is. So,
and don't you know, I was walking around the Cotton Bowl this morning. I'm watching on TV right now. This is feels like an opportunity for Oklahoma to knock off number 1 Texas. That it's almost like, okay, we know we're not really a playoff team this year. We know we're struggling, but what an opportunity. That's kind of the impression I got walking around here today, listening to some conversations and whatnot. So it's up to Texas not let that happen. And I think Texas is going to play a really good football game today, guys.
I'm with you. They've had 2 weeks to get ready for it. And Sark did say this week, folks, that when they do all the sports science metrics and speed and miles per hour and explosive get off. Sark said this week, after encouraging them to get off their feet as much as possible this weekend, that this past weekend, that they were a step faster in a lot of the metrics that they've been judging all summer and into the fall. That guys were hitting above their normal top speeds.
Yeah.
Felt like he's going to have a very fast team today. Looks like it's Jade Barron, Quinn Ewers, Barron Sorrells, and one other captain for the Longhorns, of course, wearing the all whites. The icy whites here is the road team in this environment. Some of the cleanest and best-looking uniforms in the country. And the Longhorns play fast. They typically play pretty well in these uniforms, Jerry. They also, as you should know, Longhorns are 5-0-1 in their 5 times playing this game as the number 1 team in the country. But it's been 40 years since they've done so. So they're pretty good when they have the number 1 ranking of winning this game, at least.
Yeah, they are, no doubt. And people in the chat are saying Jade and Behrman are jawing at each other on the 50. So it's already going, man. Look, and it goes back to what I said earlier is this Texas team, when you start getting to the level they are, you become big game hunters. And it's hard to 100% be focused on 3 games in a row you're going to win. It's just how are you going to win them? But these guys they've been building up all this energy towards this next big game on the schedule. Then they had a week off to get healthier, and that's what you're going to see today. To your point, Aaron, I think you're going to see a Texas team that plays fast and fearless today. And as long as they don't make those big mistakes playing fearless, things should work out.
Agree with that. All right, so we're approaching kickoff. Steve Sarkisian doing a quick final interview with Holly Rowe on the sidelines there. He's wearing his white pullover as well. On what is a very hot day, according to the weather forecasters, it's going to be the hottest Texas OU game on record at 95 degrees. Yeah. No clouds, but the wind is up a little bit. We'll be interested to see. Did Texas win the toss and took the ball? They did, much like the Michigan game. We predicted on our pregame show on 102.7 ESPN, Jerry, that Texas will have the ball first because Brent Venables, if he wins, is going to defer.
Yes.
And if Texas wins it, they're going to take it, and they did. So it looks like Texas has the ball.
Yeah, so Bob Shipley will come in the second quarter, and he'll be a very happy man. He likes to win the toss and take the football. Key here is should be a downwind kick, so there should not be a return. And then Texas will get the ball scrimmaging into the wind here.
All right, well, here we go. The 120th playing our first quarter here on the On Texas Football Watch Along is brought to you by the great people at ATX Trees. That's my man Albert Cedillo and his team. It's family-owned business. They've been doing the tree service for a quarter century now, and they're going to bring us this first quarter. There it is, from their tree farm to your home. These are mature trees. The video is 30 gallons. I mean, if you need trees for your yard, your property, a new home that you've got, they are your spot. ATXtrees.com. They are our first quarter sponsor. Alex Cedillo, 25 years with his team. Alex and Albert and the whole family do an amazing job. All right, guys, here we go. First quarter is underway. It's a touchback, and I can hear the Oklahoma fans roaring early here coming up from behind me. So it's going to be Texas with the ball and an opportunity to strike first. They did it against Michigan. Now they moved the ball against Michigan, Jerry, went to 12 plays and had to kick a field goal that they missed, but they still established early Quinn Ewers in the passing game.
Yeah, and they get Quinn for a sack here on first down. Nowhere to throw the ball. Quinn moved around in the pocket and lost 6 on the sack.
All right, I'm a little bit behind you, Jerry, so you're going to have to lead the way on that. Good defense early for them.
And our feed's going to be behind, I think, behind a lot of you guys today in the chat, so apologies to that. Then we got a second down, Aaron. We got a run. A little inside zone with a puller up the middle for about a 3-yard gain. Jaden Jackson, big play there. So it's going to look like it's going to be 3rd and 14 on the Texas 21 out of the gate for the Horns.
All right, so you're ahead of me, Jerry. So I just saw the 2-yard run by this may be the start Texas was worried about here, guys, because I just heard a huge crowd cheer from the wrong side of the building.
And we just had a possible interception. Quinn overthrows receiver over the middle by a good 5-6 yards under duress. And it looks like we will see. They're saying that's going to be an interception for Billy Bowman over the middle.
Yeah,
let's see if they review this. Quinn steps up in the pocket, just flat out overthrows his receiver by 5 yards. And it looks like Billy Bowman did get his hands underneath the football, and that is a clean interception.
All right, that's the Rusty Quinn we talked about, and Texas fans feared. You know, it took a sack, didn't see what he wanted on the first series, and then overthrows after Oklahoma did a good job on both dropbacks of taking away his initial read and showed him something maybe he hadn't seen yet.
Oh yeah,
so this is except a little bit worse field position for OU. This is about how the start was last year.
Yeah, well, and that was a throw that was there. Actually, Quinn did a good job of making the right read, but overthrew it. And I think he's got the wind at his back, or does the wind behind him? I'm not sure, but either way, that ball sailed on Quinn Ewers that time.
Yeah, that should be into the wind, because you would think Oklahoma kicked off downwind, and there's a first down on a little play action there, and throw out a little half roll to the right side, to the short side of the field for a little 12-yard gainer and the first down the 33-yard line.
Yeah, nice play call there that time. Caught Texas with play action misdirection. Longhorns facing some adversity here early, and Oklahoma's getting the start they needed to have in this game, which was a sack and a turnover on the first series, and now Oklahoma with the ball across midfield into Texas territory.
There was a little they ran the same play, but almost like a quarterback with a puller in front of him. Michael Hawkins tried to dance around too much. If he does that, he may not stay upright in this game. He's got to take what he can get and get down. He tried to cross back across the field, took a number of hits. He's got to watch it there. That's not the play, if you're Oklahoma staff, you want to see him try to make.
All right, so this will be a second down, and then third down now for Oklahoma.
Yeah, a good coverage there by Manny Muhammad. They again went to the short side of the boundary side of the field, working one-on-one against Manny Muhammad. Good throw by Hawkins, where only his guy could get it, but just overthrown by about 2 yards. Manny Muhammad had good coverage there. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the Texas 33. Now, this is downwind, so Oklahoma should, unless they have a negative play, they should get a field goal attempt out of this, if nothing else. Oklahoma's going empty, 3 wides to the field side, running back in motion. So we'll see what they call here on this 3rd and 10.
The All Texas Football watch along. First quarter action, nothing. But Oklahoma already has forced the first turnover of this ball game and have the ball in the scoring zone.
Yeah, Oklahoma calls timeout here. I think Michael Hawkins may have been a little confused on that. They brought the running back in motion because they went out. They went out with three receivers to the field side, 1 to the boundary side. Actually came out with 2 to the boundary side, running back motion back into the backfield. And then he looked over for a audible from the sideline and ended up calling timeout. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 here for Oklahoma on the Texas 33. And so we'll see what Oklahoma comes up with here. It's going to be interesting, Aaron. Somewhat conservative of a play call here, or are you just going for it? Because points off turnovers is huge. And if you get too aggressive and you get a lot play for a loss here, you get sacked, something like that happens, and you turn around, you might have to punt the football. You got nothing out of it. So it'll be interesting to see how conservative this third play call is. Do you just want it for sure get a field goal? Do you try to get it in the fourth and manageable? We're about to find out, but here's full house backfield. See if anybody motions out. And they all motion out. So you see what Oklahoma is going to do. There's a lot of motion, a lot of misdirection, a lot of Michael Hawkins in the run game, because I think Oklahoma wants, if they can get Hawkins, if they can get those Texas linebackers false stepping, thinking about Michael Hawkins running that football, what's Oklahoma going to do? Then they're going to hit you with the run game with the running backs. But Texas holds here. Tyler Keltner, who I believe missed the Auburn game, and then their starting kicker is back now this week. And this will be a straightaway attempt from the 34. So a 44-yarder downwind.
Good job by the Texas defense there, Jerry, to dodge the bullet. You give up the interception around midfield, one first down in there in field goal range.
And he whiffed the kick. He whiffed it. He missed it 6 yards to the right.
Yep, he did. Longhorns will have the ball and decent field position. Let's go back to the Quinn interception, Jerry, now that they have the ball back and didn't give up any points. So no damage done, a couple minutes off the clock, but you got to get Quinn Ewers in a rhythm here now. A sack and an interception on the first series. Obviously, Brent Venables has a great game plan. Got to get a quick passing game going for Quinn to get him settled down.
Yeah, and the thing about that is Quinn's interception, horrible throw. Guy was wide open over the middle. Billy Bowman was deep, like 8 yards behind the crosser. That would have been a 15, 16, 17-yard gain on 3rd and 13. That's a throw Quinn has to make. That was a terrible ball. That was a terrible throw by Quinn. You can't have any more like that. He had to get it out of his system. Texas got lucky there, didn't give up points. But Sark, what he had called there, and that play developed, that play was there. That should have been a explosive play for the Texas Longhorns, but Quinn's throw was so far off that Billy Bowman was 8 yards behind the wide receiver and still picked it off.
Yeah, I wonder if the wind, he tried to into the wind, it sailed a little bit, but it was not a good throw, and it was open. He made the right read, so at least he saw the field well, bought time, moved in the pocket like you would want him to, kind of like he did against Michigan so many times. Just airmailed the throw. Texas will have the ball back. Let me mention the On Texas Football Watch Along. Our sponsor here in the first quarter is my friend Albert Cedillo and his team at ATX Trees. Listen, if you're looking for a healthy, established trees for your home, property, or business, it's not easy to find. And when you do, you want to find someone that's been doing this for a long, long time. 25 years, the Cedillo family has been doing ATX Trees. You don't want to have someone come out and put a tree in your yard that doesn't take and doesn't nurture, and you don't get your money's worth out of that. ATX Trees, tremendous. They also do tree trimming. You need to cut back your trees and keep them healthy. They do landscaping. They do it all. But again, their bread and butter are those established and up to 30-gallon trees that they will take straight from their tree farm. They have one north of Austin and one south down there, Dripping Springs. They establish the trees, obviously, year-round over the decades and bring them straight to your property, to your home. So if you're going to wait for a young tree to grow and you need the shade, you want the curb appeal and the look, atxtrees.com is where you do it. It's atxtrees.com. Albert Cedillo and the team at ATX Trees bringing you our first quarter. All right, what's your play script here coming into the second drive if you're Sark, Jerry?
Yeah, I think, Oklahoma got pressure like you thought they would. They're going to sell out. They're going to bring numbers. They're going to try to get pressure on Quinn, and it worked. That's what they wanted to do on this first drive. Now we'll see if Texas settles in. If they bring, they ran inside zone once. See if they start bringing a little counter into the run game here. Short pass counter off of that. So I'm very interested to see, but obviously Sark's still in his script. That's the one thing. He's still well into his script here. So we'll see what they do. I do wonder if Texas starts running a little counter in the run game, though, because Oklahoma is very aggressive.
All right, Jerry, here we go. Texas with the ball for the second time. And Longhorns tried to navigate, a tough start here, but it didn't cost them any points. Longhorns with Jaden Blue in their backfield. Quinn Ewers coming back for his second series. It's his first series of football in a month, and the Longhorns are going pass again on first down.
Go a little throw out into the flat. Again, pressure, flushing Quinn out of the pocket, little throw, little safety valve to Juan Davis there in the right sideline. Got a 3-yard gain, getting us a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I like that play. 3-yard play, but got Quinn a completion, which once you throw one into the other hands, sometimes you just want to see your guy catch a ball you throw. Quinn now has that under his belt, and we'll see if the Longhorns can get going amount of drive as they're sitting at their 30-yard line with 2nd down.
A little inside zone once again to Jaden Blue, 4-yard gain. So got 3rd and 3 coming up here on the Texas 34. Again, Texas needs to make some first downs, either get a drive, because obviously you don't want to be punting the ball into this wind either. You need to kind of start flipping this field. So first down here would be healthy for Texas, but we'll see what happens. Bunch set to the field side. Oklahoma brings the extra number, and Quinn misses a touchdown.
All right, so this is that early Quinn Ewers rust that we talked about that people were fearful of. And, just underthrew that one off his back foot. Isaiah Vaughn was open, though. Yeah,
look, this is a play. Look, DJ Campbell is giving up. He's giving up the push right into Quinn's face, underthrows Bond. But here's the problem. Here's the problem right now. Now, Bond did slip on that, to be fair. So I don't think he would have been able to come back to that ball. But Texas offensive line in pass pro is a big deal in this game. And they got to give Quinn the ability to step into these throws too, but then Quinn's got to make the throws.
All right, now the start Texas is looking for an interception and a punt, but at least this time they get to punt the ball and create some field position opportunities. Michael Kern was listed on the injury report this week, and it's a short punt into the wind. There will be a return out to about the 35-yard line, so Oklahoma will have the ball for the second time. Sputtery would be the way I would put it here.
Hey, Aaron, they just tacked on a 15-yard personal foul face mask on Texas, so the ball's essentially going to midfield.
All right, another mistake for the Longhorns. This is shades of the Mississippi State game where Texas had their mistakes. They've had an interception on an overthrown ball by Quinn Ewers. They've given up a sack, and now they've had a punt after Quinn got pressure and then underthrew Isaiah Vaughn. And now you're talking about a 15-yard penalty on top of a short punt.
Yeah, and look, Quinn can't. He's playing at a low level, not a high level right now. He did have pressure in his face. You got to step into that. You got to make that an accurate throw, because Texas has guys running wide open in this game right now, wide open. And this is when you get into the issues. If Quinn is not able to hit the guys that are running wide open in this game, then the belief starts happening for Oklahoma. And then this game starts swinging in their way. The momentum starts swinging their way. So, Quinn's going to have to start stepping up and delivering some passes. You can't play protecting himself from injury. That's not going to work.
I agree with that 100%. That's the positive side, right? You got guys running wide open. He underthrew a touchdown to Isaiah Vaughn. It looked like it would have been that play on the previous series. Across the middle, it was open. It was going to be a chunk play of a gain, 20 yards maybe. Coming across the crossing route. So you got to get things settled down on that Texas sidelines. Now you got to lean on your defense a little bit, because the penalty, they're going to have really good field position. Oklahoma looking to move towards with the win here in this first quarter.
Yeah, they are. And this is the big drive coming up for the Texas defense, because while Oklahoma got a first down on that little play action, Oklahoma now showed Texas they've got those linebackers thinking. You can tell what Oklahoma is going to do offensively here. They attacked with Michael Hawkins in the run game, a little play action, easy throw to start the game to him. Now let's see if they start to run the football with the backs here on this drive. See if they can get those Texas linebackers false stepping, thinking about Michael Hawkins' ability in the run game with that misdirection. Let's see if Oklahoma now goes to the run game through the running back to see how Texas reacts to this.
Yeah. It's interesting to see, Jerry, how they attack it here. But, man, this wind is really blowing down here at the Cotton Bowl. I can tell you that right now. This wind is a factor. I mean, this is probably some of the gustiest winds we've had when I've been out here since 9 o'clock this morning. So we'll keep our eyes on this wind because it's certainly going to affect the ball here. And affecting my setup here with my tent. Fortunately, I got a sandbag on top of it. But we're navigating the gusty winds here at the Cotton Bowl. All right, Jerry, 0-0 first quarter. Bob Shipley will be in our second quarter. How long are you going to hang with me, G-Man, or are you just going to watch it at some point?
I'm here. I'll be here the whole time, man.
Awesome.
So, you know, I'm here. I'm here for this one. Unbelievable game, unbelievable atmosphere in there. So we'll see. And Quinn's going to have to get it going. Now, I mean, the one thing I've seen so far, and let's see what the Texas defense does against the Oklahoma actual running back run game on this drive, which you know is coming after that first series. How's Quinn going to react in his third series? I mean, at some point, he's got to make the throws. He's had a bad interception, and even though he had DJ Campbell gave up too much leverage and there was pressure in his face, that's still a throw he has to make in this game. And there's the running back run game, which you wonder when that was coming, because all Oklahoma's doing is misdirection with Michael Hawkins. They want those linebackers false stepping to Michael Hawkins. Oklahoma does, and then they want to run it right back behind those backers. And that's what you're going to – that's the way – it's pretty obvious the way Oklahoma's about to try to attack Texas, and they're going after the backers.
Yeah, get the backers moving, use misdirection, use the legs of Michael Hawkins, and there's a run play off play action right up the middle. That got you a few yards. I mean, that's a play that Brett Venables and Seth Luttrell will like. It keeps you ahead of the chain, 2nd and 7 now.
Yeah, Leon will foul in on this series as well. They first down run there. They went to the two-back on this run, went to the short side, boundary side of the field, and ran it for a first down, so they're at the Texas 40.
Yeah, Javonte Barnes that time with the carry, and that's a good play right there, getting Texas. Again, these are the looks you probably haven't seen this year so far from them. This is a week off for both teams coming out. The Longhorns have gotten the looks they wanted, and Quinn Ewers just hadn't made the throws. So far, Oklahoma looking as sharp as we've seen them offensively.
And there was Michael Hawkins. I'm sorry I'm ahead of you, Aaron. Stepping up in the pocket, a little pressure off the outside, not sack pressure, but enough pressure to make him step up in the pocket. So he steps up, makes an inaccurate throw to the far side of the field. Not an easy throw, but a throw that, as his career moves along, he will make. That one, hips were way open, created an inaccurate throw. And here is a great play call by Texas coming up, Aaron.
Okay. Yeah, I did get a couple notes from folks saying that you're ahead of everybody, so you might want to.
I'll slow down.
Okay. Because you're ahead of me, but I don't know where everybody else is. Yeah, great play call. There's a blitz that probably haven't seen on film, and that's a 20-yard loss. Is that Michael Taft coming on the blitz that time?
That is Michael Taft. Creates a 3rd and 23 all the way back on the Oklahoma 47. So I expect a somewhat conservative play call here by Oklahoma because with Quinn's struggles, you want to try to pin Texas inside the 10, get your crowd into this, and see if Quinn Ewers is going to deliver for this Texas offense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was a great play. And that's what we talked about a lot leading up to this game, Jerry, that Texas really in their 5-0 start haven't blitzed much. And so you knew there were going to be some things that Michael Hawkins just has not seen or seen on film. And that was one. We have not seen a safety blitz from Michael Taft this year.
I guess I only have 30.
Good play by Texas there. Yep, they went with a little screen game. They were just trying to get a little bit of get a few yards.
Down, you're getting into my microphone. All right, good series. How about that defense, Jerry, so far for Texas? Doing a great job of picking up the offense that is struggling right now. Defense has not allowed any points, and now they're going to get a punt.
Yeah, and that was a good safety blitz there by good call by the Texas defense. Then you got a 5-yard false start on Oklahoma, so back to the 42 it goes where Oklahoma will be punting from. That was a false start again on Oklahoma, guys. I'm sorry I'm ahead.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sure everybody that's watching and or watch along is at different parts of it, but we'll be talking about it as well. It says, would you let Sark think he'd get in a rhythm with some short passes to start like Michigan? Quinn came out lackadaisical in these OU games. Well, Again, I think sometimes a little bit too amped up too. And I was concerned about that throughout the day, Jerry, just being out here and dealing with this wind that you're seeing behind me. You saw Michael Hawkins make a bad throw. I think it's going to be tough sledding with this wind. And it's not just a breeze, it's gusty. It'll pick up and drop back down and pick up and drop back down. So between that and the high sky, the ball in the air is going to be unpredictable at times today.
Yeah, no doubt. And back to a 4th and 33 now. Kelly Hill with this super chat. Hopefully, don't hear Boomer Sooner much today. Quinn's got to get it going because Texas has wide receivers running wide open. The offensive line has to pass protect, which is the key, and Quinn's got to step into those throws.
Yeah, and that's where Sark has talked about the ability to have the tablets on the sidelines now. Look, I mean, Quinn can see it on the field, but he can see that, show it to him. We'll settle him down and say, look, nobody hurt here. They haven't scored a point. We're going to be good. Just step into those throws. Offensive line needs to step it up a little bit too. I think right now what I'm seeing, Jerry, is Oklahoma's playing a little faster than Texas is, on their defensive front. And so this Texas offensive line needs to pick up their play as well.
Yeah, they do, no doubt. And I think you're going to see Oklahoma continue to maybe attack the right side a little bit and test those guys in pass pro. And that's been one of the keys for me. But, again, this is a huge drive for Texas, huge drive for Quinn. He needs to make a couple of real throws on this drive and show his team and show his offensive line and show his receivers that he is here to play today. For the first 2 drives, it's shaky at best from Quinn. So he's going to have to elevate his game, and it needs to start this drive because you can't ask the Texas defense to keep holding up. You can't give them short fields. You can't give, that was a dumb face mask penalty, but Oklahoma started with the ball twice at midfield, essentially.
Yeah.
So you can't keep doing that. Oklahoma will hit you on a play eventually.
No doubt about that. All right, Jerry, let me tell you one more time about ATX Trees while we're at the TV break. Our first quarter sponsor, ATX Trees, from their tree farm to your home. Texas OU edition here. But look, they got several specials that they're offering right now with the free delivery and installation and warranty on those trees. So again, when they put a tree in your yard or property, it's going to be guaranteed with a warranty. Also 10% off phone orders. So when you call them, 749-5149, that's 512-749-5149. They also have $200 off right now, these zero-scaping projects that they do of more than $2,500. Those are unbelievable ways to landscape your yard beautifully, but also save water through the drought-tolerant conditions we have here in Central Texas. That zero-scaping, they've got a great offer there. But the thing with ATX Trees is healthier trees all year long with ATX Trees, and they'll maintain those trees for you once they go in, prune them when they need it as well. They've been doing this 25-plus years, the Cedillo family, and they want to help you from their tree farm where they grow the trees, nurture the trees into the healthiest trees you're going to get and delivered to your home at atxtrees.com. Over 18 varieties of native trees in stock. Tree sizes up to 30 gallons as well. And again, it's a great family-run business for 3 decades now at atxtrees.com, our first quarter sponsor. All right, so good side, bad side for the first quarter, Texas. Jerry, they're only 7 minutes in, so halfway through. There are no points on the board. Texas's defense has played complementary football so far to a sputtery offense. Now it's time to mount a drive and get your offense going.
Yeah, have to. No doubt about it. And look, Texas is you can tell that's a little different script and game plan for Sark. You normally see him go horizontal in the passing game. Instead of that, he's going more vertical in the passing game with the inside zone run, really testing Oklahoma, trying to hold those linebackers and then throw it behind them because I think he knows. But the offensive line has to give the quarterback time, and then Quinn has to step up and make the throws. He knows that Oklahoma can't guard his speed consistently. So it's a little bit of a different script and game plan than we've seen. He broke tendency to start this game the way he starts most games because he normally starts with the horizontal stuff to really get that defense moving and shifting east to west and then starts to hit you down the field with the run game. But he's kind of gone opposite now because he knows he has such a speed advantage at wide receiver, different spots in this game. But, offensive line's got to protect a little better, but Quinn's got to make the throws more important because guys are going to be open.
Yep, and we'll see what Sark does to get his quarterback in a rhythm because it needs to happen here. It does feel like the Texas defense can get their hands around this Oklahoma offense, but you got to generate some yourself against this team. But sputtering so far, their third series, Quinn Ewers just 1 for 3 for 3 yards. He's thrown an interception and has been sacked one time so far. So it's Jaden Blue on the end around, little misdirection there. Great defense by Oklahoma, though.
Yeah, remember this play. He's setting up something later in the game, but that was not the result you wanted on that play.
Yeah, that wasn't the drive starter you were looking for. But you saw something, Jerry, there that even when he had the win, even though it was 4th and 30, the Oklahoma punter was able to get a boomer down there. I mean, this wind is going to carry the ball an extra 15 or 20 yards, I think, on these punts, and it's going to do the same thing when you're into the wind trying to putt into it, which Texas is going to have to do if they can't get a first down here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so again, it's I'm a little ahead, but we got a big third down coming up for Texas here. Clock's winding down. There's 6 minutes to go in the first half, or in the first quarter, I should say.
Yeah,
Oklahoma's linebackers are aggressive, James E. That's the strength of their defense. They're very big and they're very athletic and they're very good football players.
Quinn Ewers now 2 completions, and they're both of the short variety, only 8 yards. And this is a big third down into a pretty stiff wind here, 3rd and 8. But I thought that play to Trey Wisner got it to manage. But we'll see how they manage. I didn't hear a cheer, so might not be good for the white.
No, not good for the white. Flushed Quinn out from the pocket once again, and he is not going to run for first downs against this defense. That's not what he's going to do unless it's a straight up the middle and nobody's home. He is not going to outrun this Oklahoma defense if he needs a. No chance. So he gets 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 5 on the 17, and he takes his first big hit, and somebody falls on him in this game. So Texas back the punt.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jerry, with, you go back to the Michigan game, and so many comparisons here that the Oklahoma offense struggles a lot like Michigan does. But in that first half, Quinn was razor sharp, right? I mean, he was hitting the open people. He was pushing it down the field. So far in this game, it looked like what Sark has dialed up on a few occasions has been there. It's just the quarterback hasn't executed the pass, and so they're stalling out in these drives.
Yeah, they are. I mean, bottom line is I totally agree. Offensive line is not giving Quinn good time and a good pocket, and then he is not making the plays when he has them. And if you can get Quinn on the move outside the pocket, you're winning as a defense against Texas. There's no doubt about it. So here's the question becomes, how long is the Texas defense going to hold up here? I mean, Oklahoma starts the ball again to 37 here. So they've started with Texas territory, their own 49, and now the 37. And it's all misdirection from Oklahoma, but Texas defense playing really well.
Obviously, this is going to be a 4-quarter game, guys, and it's a hot day. So you just saw the people in the audience there with their fans and the Hawkins family. It's a warm day, but Texas doing a great job on defense, playing fast as well. So far, defense is dominating this game. There's Colin Simmons with his first big play.
Yeah, creating a 2nd and 13 on Oklahoma at 34. Now Oklahoma's an empty running back. Barnes motions in back into the backfield. Everything's misdirection with Oklahoma. Really good play. Really good play by Michael Hawkins here.
All right, then a first down for Oklahoma, a little roll to the right, give the quarterback time, and they're trying to man the reins, but that was a move to throw and create a separation.
Yeah, and look, I know Michael Hawkins is a young quarterback, but for the people that are in this watch with us that haven't been on some of our shows, Michael Hawkins trained with Kevin Murray for years. Kevin Murray does a really good job with quarterbacks. These guys, anybody he trains with has a really good feel for this position, the mental part of the game, and the ability to work reads. This is not unexpected for me with Michael Hawkins, just knowing how good Kevin Murray is with quarterbacks, that he's going to be advanced coming as a freshman. But now if he delivers like this today, that changes the game. But then you saw a little bit of a quarterback power, then they come back to the run game.
Yeah, and so far the Oklahoma offensive line's outplaying the Texas offensive line in this game. I mean, they're creating creases. They're protecting their quarterback outside of the one safety blitz sack. And the Texas D's getting cut a little bit right now.
Yes, they are. I mean, and that's the thing with the Texas defense. I mean, you've had 3 offensive possessions. You have done nothing. In fact, you've had an interception. You missed a touchdown, and then you have a 3 and out. So you've done nothing to help your defense, and Oklahoma gets the ball in plus or good field position every single drive, And now Oklahoma's getting a feel for what they can do through their misdirection in this game, keeping Hawkins on the move every single play.
A lot of motions, a lot of misdirections. As you said, they want Texas to see a lot and have to think instead of come right downhill. All right, moving the ball a little bit. Texas playing some bend but don't break right now on defense.
And look, we know what Oklahoma is going to do. Michael Hawkins is going to play on the move and use those quick feet the entire day. We'll see if they go 2nd and 2, if they go misdirection, if they look for a big play. They were gonna look for a little misdirection, quarterback run back to the field side. Texas did a good job squeezing that off. He had nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah, good job by Trey Moore there, time containing. Did he get the first down, though?
He did. It's 1st and 10 on the 29.
Hey, hold on.
All right, so far, guys, you're looking at total plays, 17 for Oklahoma, 9 for Texas. Texas has gone 3 and out 3 times. So 3 in interception on the first drive, and then three in punts in the other 2. Oklahoma now approaching 20 plays since Texas defense having a handle here in the first quarter.
Derek Williams in on that tackle here on this first down play. Good to see him back for the Horns. But look, this is a game that the Texas linebackers, safeties, and edges are really going to be tested because everything is misdirections. Michael Hawkins going one way, the back going the other. You cannot false step. You cannot get sucked inside. You have to be very disciplined defensively and see everything. And that was a very good job, which we'll see here coming up.
Good defense right there. That was a good play by the backside, as you said. Colin Simmons with 2 tackles already in this game.
And so when they fake this play, then the other edge has to stay home and the linebacker has to stay home too because Hawkins is now coming the other way with you, and he's going to have something in a crossing pattern.
All right, big 3rd and 6, Jerry. If you're ahead of it, you can take it. But it's a big stop for Texas to force another field goal attempt. It's 0-0 as we approach the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, really good pressure up the middle. Delayed blitz by Anthony Hill. Gets the pressure on Hawkins. Hawkins throws it into the stands. And it's going to be a 4th and 6 on the Texas 25. So a 42-yard field goal coming up for Oklahoma. He missed the first one from 44. He had Tyler Keltner has a 42-yarder from right hash coming up, just inside the right hash.
Yeah, and I
think is good.
Jerry, you can see it with the wind blowing behind me. I think the game's that there's a bigger factor of this win than even I thought going in. And I think everybody's kind of dealing with it right now. And now we'll see if the kicker can handle it. He missed the first one.
Yeah, made the second one, so 3-0. Coach Bob Shipley joins us. Coach, any thoughts early other than Quinn's got to step in the throws and make big boy throws coming up?
Yeah. I'm not sure he's ready to play yet.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not sure he's ready to play yet. He hadn't been himself at all.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Shipley about the Michigan game where he was razor sharp and they went up and down the field in the first half. And this one, 3 drives, an interception, and 2 punts. And the defense has played complementary football to keep it a 3-point game. But as you said, when you say not ready to play, is that not engaged or is it maybe not 100% healthy yet?
I don't know that he's healthy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We need one more series to see.
Yeah, because my concern for Quinn in this game is he is not stepping into where contact would be made with him to get a throw out of his hand. And 2, he's not really ripping the football at all on any throws over the middle.
Right.
And, at this point, if you're watching the game, you're almost hoping he's not 100% because if this is him at 100% right now, that's not very good.
No doubt.
Offensive line, right side's got a pass pro a little bit better. DJ Campbell got to be a little better in pass pro as well. He got bull rush that one time where Quinn underthrew that second one, but again, Quinn could have stepped into that throw just a little bit more, and that ball would have gotten to wide open Bond touchdown.
All right, here we go for Texas's fourth series of the offense. Coach, Jerry and I's times are about a few seconds off, so I'm not sure where your time is, but I'm about to see the first down play. Nice first down. I like that call there, guys. Get a quick pass for Quinn. Get on the final play of the first quarter. Get a quick one out there.
Yeah, so first quarter complete here. 3-0 Oklahoma. 54 total yards for Oklahoma, 13 for Texas. Texas has the one face mask for 15 yards. Oklahoma had 2 false starts in a row on a 4th down punt. But 6 first downs to 0. 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. Texas, one of those an interception, one of those an underthrow, one of those a Quinn flushed out of the pocket run. So Texas just not mounting any drives, Coach. They've given up 1 sack for 6 yards here. But I wanted to ask you, Oklahoma offensively, everything's misdirection. You're seeing what their plan is out of the gate. It's Michael Hawkins faking running back right, him going left, or the opposite.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious that Oklahoma is going to try to get they're attacking Texas linebackers in this game.
Yeah. Well, I knew coming into the game, I knew that Oklahoma would throw some things at us we haven't seen yet. But I thought we would be more successful offensively. I just don't know that Quinn is – I don't know he's 100% yet.
Yeah, and the concern there, Coach, is if he's not at 100% and they don't think he's 100% and he doesn't look 100%, how long do you leave him in the football game?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because you don't have much time to play with here in a game like this, because this is a Mississippi. It's different, but it's a Mississippi State feel against a better football team, and that's a scary spot to be in if you're Sark.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. That's how it feels.
All right, Longhorns will have the wind here in the second half, gentlemen, which is big. Things are blowing. Gosh, I think it's probably 20, 25 miles an hour right now. You've been on this field, Coach, when it's windy like this. It impacts pretty because it's blowing south to north. It's going to impact any ball in the air.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt the wind will play a part in this game, but it's not blowing hard enough, to make up for what Quinn is
that's true.
Misfiring.
And by the way, that's the biggest thing for me on these, whether it's the interception or the underthrow, which he did have pressure in his face. Their guys running wide open. Those are explosive plays and a touchdown. And Quinn has to make those plays in this game against a good defense, because Oklahoma right now believes they believed going into the game, but now they believe on a different level. Quinn has to make those throws in this game. If he doesn't, this outcome, it gets scary for Sark.
Yeah.
Well, and then you said the word, and you said the words, Jerry. At some point, do you think about 16 if the offense continues to stall and you just Quinn's got an injury still dealing with, and Quinn Arch can run the show, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it as the second quarter is underway.
Yep, and it'll be 2nd and 5 for Texas on the Texas 30. Obviously, Oklahoma 2 timeouts, something to watch second half as this winds down. Texas all 3 plays, but again, Oklahoma 54 yards, Texas 13 in the first quarter. That is the worst quarter of offensive football Texas has had this season. And your arguably your biggest game because it's a rivalry game. So the worst offensive quarter Texas has had this season: interception, underthrow, touchdown, 3 and out. Doesn't get much worse than that offensively for a Steve Sarkisian team. So worst offensive quarter of the year. See what they can do on this drive. Sark needs to see something from Quinn on this drive. He also needs to see his offensive line pick up a little bit better in pass protection as well, because the one thing about this game is Quinn's been under duress about every time he's been in the pocket, and that's not good either. Quinn's got to make the throws, but he also needs some chances not under duress.
Yeah.
Are you back into coverage now, Jerry?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. So big 3rd and 5 here for the Longhorns.
Big play. Great throw here coming up, guys. Quinn's first really good throw.
There's a flag down. Holding penalty, Oklahoma. Decline, 26-yard play. Good throw right there by Quinn Ewers. Yeah, and so the TV came back late, at least for me, guys, and Quinn Ewers threw a completion to Juan Davis, incomplete, and then that's led to the 3rd down in which they hit the good throw to DeAndre Moore. Now Texas is their most significant drive yet.
And let's see if they're going to take a look at this one or not. I think they may take a look at this one to see if DeAndre Moore's right foot was actually in bounds or left foot.
Yeah, I believe it was.
I do too. I think he got the 1 foot down, guys.
Let's see if the toe was on the line. Oh, man. I wouldn't want to have to make this call. I mean,
I think
guys,
he's in. I think it stays what it was.
it's going to be hard to overturn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it stays with what it was. It'll be
And so here's the question, though. On the review, it won't matter, right, Coach? Because if they say he was out, you can take the holding penalty. They declined the penalty and took the play. So Texas is going to get a 1st down regardless on this. But are they going to overturn this? I think his left foot was probably on the line by a 1/4 of an inch, but I'm not sure they are going to overturn it.
yeah, it's got to be indisputable, guys, and it's got to be, or they stick with the call that was made. But you're right, there was a holding call defensively, so Texas will get the 1st down. But you'd like to have that 26-yard play.
Play stands, 1st down. Yeah, you needed that one. Good throw by Quinn. Again, though, flushed out of the pocket. Now, whether he left the pocket early, debatable.
Yeah, I thought he did.
I thought he did too, Coach.
I thought he left early.
Well, and so, Jerry, I think what you guys are saying, are you feeling like Quinn is trying to avoid contact instead of sticking in there and taking hits?
I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe he's not,
Okay.
other than the run on 3rd down when he had no choice. He is not stepping into throws like a guy that is ready and wants to get hit in his midsection.
All right. Well, Longhorns across midfield now. That was a great throw and catch for DeAndre Moore, and it's going to be a 1st down early on, 2nd quarter. OU leads this game 3-0.
Quentin's asking, did Blue lose his job? Blue started this game, so I wouldn't say that. I would say this is more rotation, but Trey Wisner gives Texas more in the run game in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 4th series now, and I like Wisner in this spot. I think he's a South Dallas kid. I'd like to see him have a big game here today.
I like Jarrett Gibson in the run game against Oklahoma too.
Yeah, now Longhorns getting going a little rhythm. Really just took hopefully that one throw that Quinn just made gets him calmed down, and the Longhorns again playing with the wind now here in the 2nd quarter, and the offense is looking better. Nice move, Trey Wisner. This is the rhythm we'd like to see for that Texas offense, Jerry. They're playing with some tempo now.
Yes, they are. Ball down to the 2nd and 8 on the Oklahoma 32. By the way, you knew Helm was time was going to run out on him on these hurdles coming up.
Yeah, no doubt.
He wasn't going 4 for 4.
No.
So now, hey, this is where if you're Gunnar Helm, guys, you can't get knocked out for the season. This now has to stop. They worked it some early in the season. People have watched you on tape. They safety knows what you're going to attempt to do against him. You cannot get yourself knocked out for the season. Keep continuing to hurdle people. You got to be smarter than this.
I agree with that. Yeah, but it's a big play for Texas. Here's the red zone, guys. First trip in it with their first drive in the 2nd quarter, first drive into the wind or with the wind behind them. They weren't good in the red zone last year, and it cost them the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't like Jaden Blue running the football inside against Oklahoma. I just don't. Trey Wisner, but that's more of a Wisner's more of a slasher. So you saw those runs are more outside the B gap. I like Jarrett Gibson inside in this game, running the football. I'm not unless it's just a blow open a hole. I don't like Jaden Blue running inside against Oklahoma in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. The Wisner slashing or the power of the baby rhino, Jarrett Gibson, is probably preferable in this spot.
And this is big.
Go ahead, Coach.
Big third down coming right here.
Yes, that's those plays I like Jaden Blue on in this game. Outside in the boundary, catching the football on the move. You can make one guy miss. You can make positive yards, extension of the run game. That's where I like Jaden Blue against this Oklahoma team. And that's something to also watch next week in Kentucky and A&M.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, being here at the Cotton Bowl at Fair Park, I can tell you I think you're going to like the third down result. So I won't try to spoil it, but
yeah,
I just heard
we like it, baby. Let's go.
This is the drive Texas needed and Quinn needed and Sark and this offense needed to see. And Quinn's still not comfortable playing with sloppy feet in the pocket. But Texas got the ball down the field and scored the football, and suddenly they're up to 83 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Speaking of the misdirection Oklahoma was doing, that was a roll right. And there it is. Coach Shipley, the good luck charm. Good job, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, it's going to take more than me to beat OU.
Good play call. Gunnar Helm was big in the Michigan game, and 2 big catches on that drive, and the Longhorns are to 7-3 now. And way to say it right, Jerry and Coach. I mean, they needed that drive desperately. They move it down the football field and now take the lead. And Longhorns showed some signs of life there. But and you got to give the defense some credit, Coach Shipley, for that first quarter when the offense wasn't doing anything. They did, hold up to just 3 points allowed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they really did. The problem is, had we not scored there, I'm sure the thing that Sark is trying to avoid is a quarterback controversy.
Yes.
So you're going to hold out till the last minute. If you're going to play Manning, it's going to be a really tough call because people will perceive it as being Manning as the guy.
Yes. It's the way that's the spot he does not want to be in. He needs Quinn to play well.
Yeah.
Because the second he has to make a move, then that can derail everything.
Yeah. No, he's got to win this game with Quinn.
All right, so this is a big drive coming up here for the Oklahoma offense. They're now playing into this wind for the first time. They've had the ball on the Texas 9, the Oklahoma 49, and the Oklahoma 37 to start 3 drives. It couldn't have gone better for the Oklahoma offense in the first quarter other than they missed a field goal. They could have had 6 points on the board, a missed 44-yarder. But now this Oklahoma offense, they have to show something into the win. Now, they haven't thrown the ball down the field but once. Manny Muhammad had good coverage. But now Texas has a chance to settle in and say, okay, we know what they're going to do offensively with this misdirection. It's going to be running backs going one way, Michael Hawkins going the other, and they're going to try to make us run horizontally. They're going to make us try to false step. They're going to make our ends try to stay at home. So now what is Oklahoma going to do in the second quarter off of that initial game plan offensively? Because they're going to have to take a step too. Because everything they've done has worked to some degree, but they haven't mounted a drive against Texas. And they've started with great field position. So what's Oklahoma's counter going to be coming up here, Coach? Because they got to have one.
Yeah, that's a great point. They need to run the ball. OU needs to move the sticks if they can and try to keep the Texas offense off the field.
Yeah, I'll be eager to see Michael Hawkins into this win and dealing with those elements here. Our second quarter brought to you by Vote for Anthony. As we're approaching Election Day inside a month now, make sure if you're early voting, we're going to go to the polls between now and early November. And you live in Hays County, please vote for my friend Anthony Hippolito. He's a friend of the community. He's 25 years in law enforcement. He's a Hays County lifer. He's went to Hays High School, 25 years retired from the APD, and now working at the sheriff's office with the current sheriff, Gary Cutler, who has highly recommended him to succeed him as the sheriff of Hayes County. Sheriff Cutler is retiring. It's time for some new blood in the room, but Anthony Ippolito is the perfect guy for that. He is a great guy and a great sheriff if you elect him. With his biggest and most important issues being the fentanyl crisis, our high schools and school safety, and dealing with the rising crime rates within one of the fastest growing counties in the country, right there in Hayes County. Go vote for Anthony when you get a chance. I know early voting has begun for a lot, so if you live in Hayes County, vote for Anthony. If you know friends and relatives and friends and family that live in Hayes County, please encourage them to vote for Anthony. He's also an On Texas Football avid watcher, so he's probably watching right now if he's not watching it somewhere else. But Anthony loves the On Texas Football channel and wanted to reach the audience that he knows is so large that will give him a vote because he wants to be the sheriff of Hayes County. All right, guys, 7-3 on the Longhorns. Got the drive they needed. Total yards are now in favor of Texas, 83-54. It's amazing, Jerry, how one good offensive drive with some rhythm can make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. And I did not like this kickoff at all. I mean, Stone was kicking downwind, didn't get the ball into the end zone. The return man ends up breaking a tackle and getting it out to the 28. That was not necessarily in a back-breaking play, but that's not what I expected coming out of this off this score, off the kickoff for Will Stone not getting the ball to the end zone. Then that gave Oklahoma the ability to make a play, which they need all the help they can get to make plays in this game. So we'll see how much we'll see where the misdirection comes here. This is Michael Hawkins again out. He's on the out of the pocket on this play, or in the pocket was the play.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that would be a sack. Is that right?
Yes. That will go for a sack, but that's the first time really, other than the throw deep on to the boundary side in the first corner when they tested Muhammad, that Oklahoma threw the ball for the pocket as far as the play design goes. We'll see here 2nd and 12.
Is that Benda that gets credit for the sack, or is that how do they do that team sack there? Benda ran him out of bounds. Ethan Burke had him by the feet at one point. We'll see if they just make it a team sack for Texas.
Yeah, it's got to be offense.
We're going to see here. We have Aaron. I don't know where you're at, but
I saw the false start.
False start left tackle should be 5 yards to make for a 2nd and 17 from the Oklahoma 21. If they call this on Texas, that would be wild. That just
I don't like
they're trying to bark signals, right?
Hey, Jerry and Coach, I think you guys are synced up, so I'm going to let you guys lead this, and I'll just comment as I need to as I catch up.
They're saying Texas called a timeout.
Ahead of the penalty, a timeout was called.
I'm confused. I'm confused on this whole play right now. Art's upset about it, though.
Well, if he did, in fact, call a timeout, it's because there was some mismatch or something he didn't like. But certainly looked like he did not call a timeout as he was talking to the refs, but we'll have to wait and see.
So right now, as it stands, 2nd and 12 for Oklahoma on their own 26 here. 7-3 Texas leads. Sack on that last play. Ethan Burke had the chase out of the pocket. Hawkins was playing in the pocket. They flushed him to the field side. David Benda ran him out of bounds. I don't know if Benda gets the actual sack on that play in the box score, but good job there. Michael Hawkins was flushed from the pocket. And that's really only 2nd, maybe 3rd play where Hawkins traditionally played from the pocket. Everything's been on the move with the misdirection, even in the passing game. So we'll see if into this win, we've kind of been wondering what Oklahoma may do in the 2nd quarter that they didn't show in the 1st quarter. Now that Texas defense is comfortable, I'm very interested to see how Oklahoma tries to attack Texas in the passing game if Hawkins is not on the move.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Jerry. Because they're trying to not have him in a central spot so Texas can pin their ears back and get after him, and they know Texas is trying to honor rushing lanes on their pass rush attacks, so they're trying to slow that down, working a little bit, but Texas starting to get some pressure. And you're right, I think Texas feels like they can get their hands around this thing right now and maybe get the ball back with the wind and try to extend this lead.
So what's the wind blowing? What's the miles per hour on the wind?
15, Gustin 25.
15. Oh, 45?
25. Gustin
25.
25.
25.
Yeah.
That's still
I
a
mean,
lot.
Yeah, I mean, and it's gusting. It's been a steady south breeze since, gosh, when I was driving in this morning, the flags are coming from the south to the north, steady 15, and then every once in a while, as you'll see behind me, this umbrella will blow over. It'll gust up to 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. So yeah, that's what the quarterbacks are dealing with too, and the kickers.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, I mean, I guarantee everybody in that stadium and out here at the fair are happy for it because it's 95 degrees. So any air motion is a good thing right now for these fans.
Yeah. I was walking around, Aaron. I'm like you. I was walking around before the game, and it was blazing hot. The hottest game on record for the Red River Rivalry. So the breeze, while for the quarterbacks it's not great, for the fans it's tremendous.
Yes. Well, and you kind of thought, I mean, this is the first 2:30 kick we've had in this game in a while, and so heat of the day. Could have used a little cool off at some point, but that's not the case. I'm sure they're thinking the same thing down there at ACL Festival. What's going on? Because it's been two of the hotter weekends we remember in October. Probably by now we're into some 70s and some 80s. We have not gotten that so far here in 2024. 7-3 Texas. Our second quarter brought to you by Anthony Hippolito. Vote for Anthony at the polls here in the early voting periods, and when you get to the polls on first Tuesday of November. 7-3 Longhorns. Longhorns now leading in total yards, and Michael Hawkins in Oklahoma with the ball, though, early on second quarter.
I'm getting some text from inside the stadium when Maurice Blackwell is in the game. He is serving more as a spy on Michael Hawkins, it looks like. There's a little run on second down, so it's going to be 3rd and 8 coming up. But USC up on Penn State 17-3. Mississippi State and Georgia 3-3 in the second quarter. Carson Beck not off to a good start. 3rd and 8 coming. Big play here for the Texas defense and Oklahoma offense.
Oh, yeah. Great play.
Lot of pressure there. So the Texas defensive front linebackers, the Oklahoma offensive line coach, we're putting it mildly when we say they've struggled this year. There is a flag. Is this going to be a late hit on Michael Hawkins, a roughing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
That's going to be Ethan Burke, I think. He was the closest person to it, but that's a critical penalty and mistake.
Looks like
Benda.
Defensive holding.
And then roughing the passer. Yeah.
Wow. Longhorns playing smart football here in this first half.
Was that Benda? Yeah.
It was Benda.
Oh, that's close. That's close.
That's a bad call. Now, they call defensive holding in the secondary, so it's a first down anyways based on that, but that's not a roughing. Come on.
No. I don't know how he could have stopped his momentum.
Come on. That's not a rough in the pass. Now, I don't know about the hold, where their hold was in the secondary. It was going to give him a first down anyways, but that wasn't roughing.
Yeah, the guy's running full speed.
Yeah. Great play. Jalen Gilbo.
But I will say this. Dan in the chat says Benda's a fool for not letting up and having contact with him. And I do that was not a play you need to make contact at the same time.
Yeah, agreed. It would have been a holding call anyway, would have given them the first down, but still that was a get off the field kind of play. But now big play for Gilbo. It's going to be a big second down here.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. Huge play for the Horns.
Go ahead and lead it if you see it, Coach Shipley.
Do what?
If you see it before us, you can go ahead and let us know what happened.
Am I ahead of y'all?
Yeah, a little bit.
You and I are the same, Coach. It's 3rd and 6 coming up here on the
I'm about 8 seconds behind, I think.
Good pressure up the middle, and we're going to get him for a sack. Big Baron Sorrell, pressure. Vernon Broughton up the middle. Sorrell from the outside, from the field side. Sorrell gets the sack, forces a 4th and 8, and a punt time coming for Oklahoma.
Heck yeah, let's go. Hey, we need a big special teams play in this game. We hadn't had one yet this season.
No doubt.
Right
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Do not try to block this punt. A lot of times, these are the plays I hate in college football. You get over aggressive. Okay, we have some momentum. We're going to go for the punt block. Then you end up roughing the guy and letting the bad offense off the hook. Punt safe, which Texas is. I like that they just went punt safe on this.
Oh, baby. Yeah, great call.
Possess the football. Possess the football. I'm so glad Texas didn't try to block that punt. They went punt safe. They gave the return man a chance. They just get the ball back and say, okay, Oklahoma defense, can you stop us? Can you really stop us if our quarterback starts making throws?
Yeah, you called it, Jerry.
Yeah, I think you said that right, Jerry, right there. I mean, if your quarterback's making throws in the first quarter, you might have another touchdown on the board here. But, he wasn't. And now you got to get him settled down. And he's 8 for 11, but he started, 0 for his first 3, threw an interception. You get him going, this offense can crank it up. And now we're seeing the Texas defense really get after Michael Hawkins.
Yeah. And somebody in the chat said terrible punt by the OU punter. It is into a gusty wind. But that was not what they ideally wanted. When your punt returner, Texas makes the catch on the run because the punt was so short, the gunners actually passed the punt. So it was not the ideal punt that Oklahoma wanted.
Yeah, again, I think they're surprised when the ball gets up in the air. It hits a wall. And we also saw a punt by that same punter for Oklahoma with the wind, travel good 60 yards in the air once it got up in the air. So the wind is impacting the ball when it gets kind of above the stands for sure.
Somebody in the chat asked if we've seen Jaden Blue. Yes, he was a starting running back in this game. They've used him in the passing game. They've handed it to him a couple of times on inside zone, which I don't particularly like in this game against Oklahoma defense. But Trey Wisner I think, is going to be probably, unless there's, just big run play and Texas blocks something really well. I think Trey Wisner is maybe your go-to back in the run game here. I like Jaden Blue on the perimeter in the passing game against Oklahoma in this game. But he did.
Right on, Jerry. You were right on target.
Salty Q asked, why no Jarrett Gibson yet? Good question. Maybe they want to see pass protection picking up against this Oklahoma defensive front that can really get after the quarterback. And Brent Venables has a lot of exotic blitz packages. They may be worried about Jarrett Gibson and pass pro in this game. Something to kind of keep an eye on, especially early.
Yeah, good point.
Hey, guys, also maybe a good point. You guys can agree or disagree, but this is a big drive to go get points. I mean, if you could certainly get a touchdown, now all of a sudden, no matter how rough the first quarter was, your strategy of making Oklahoma play from behind, begins to come into focus here.
Yeah.
That's what you want in this game.
Yeah. A touchdown this drive would be huge.
Yeah, look, the thing about it is if you can get up 2 scores on Oklahoma, they have to get more aggressive offensively. Right now, as long as it's a 1-score game, they can kind of keep muddying this thing up, keep just kind of pacing along like they are. Bunch of misdirection, not putting Hawkins in bad positions. Texas pass rush is starting to get home. Get up 2 scores in this. That places a lot more pressure on Seth Luttrell from a play calling standpoint, because you can't, and I'm not saying they're playing conservative. I think they're playing smart with Hawkins, but at some point you take the smart out the window and say, we got to take the training wheels off and see what this guy's going to do today.
Yeah, total yards are now 83 for Texas, 56 for Oklahoma. Texas can go here from Texas can start this drive at their own 32, get 70 more yards on the board in the end zone. All that begins to happen.
I kind of wonder too with the Oklahoma defense, because Texas had guys running wide open and Quinn was missing them. Coach, what's Oklahoma going to do defensively in their back end? Because Venables probably did not like how wide open Texas guys were when Quinn was missing them.
Yeah.
So a little quick throw out there to the left, to the field side, 3-yard gain, setting up a big 3rd and 7 here.
It's playing fast on defense too. We knew that coming in. They're going to make it tough on Texas. And now the quick passing game is starting to maybe pick up a little bit for the Longhorns, but finally, because it really wasn't working in the first half. First quarter, I should say. All right, you guys have the lead on this one because you're ahead of me, and it's a big 3rd down.
Yeah, trips to the field side. Quinn Ewers under duress once again, flushed out of the pocket, throws way high, but it would have been an incomplete anyways, but threw it way high on third down. Billy Bowman had that one blanketed. It was not going to be a completion. Again, flushed Quinn from the pocket, flushed him to the field, to the boundary side. They had trips to the field side. He had to work to Bond crossing the field. That throw wasn't open. It was going to be incomplete even if it was an accurate throw. So fourth down.
No, yeah. He threw that one away.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was a good play by Brett Venables' defense. They did one of those ghost blitzes, and they brought the corner off the edge, and Jaden Blue did a nice job. But I think Quinn thought more were coming than came, and then he had to deal with coverage.
Yeah, we'll see if Ratliff can get off a little better pump with this wind to his back.
What you're seeing Oklahoma do is flush Quinn to the side away from the trips.
Okay, do what, Jerry?
I think Oklahoma's trying to bring the blitz and flush Quinn opposite of the trips formation.
Oh, I see.
What it looks like to me.
Yeah, we got a flag here.
Yeah, good punt that time. That's what we saw. Just get it up in the air. It's going to blow another 15 yards back. But that makes your coverage team have to cover more. But here we go. Flag, call it.
Okay, they picked up the flag. First down, Oklahoma on the 29. By the way, I do agree with some people in the chat. Quinn is playing in the pocket like a guy that does not want to get hit.
Yeah.
You can't play like that.
Yeah, that would indicate he's still a little bit sore with that ribs or with that oblique, and he's not playing that fearless style he played against Oklahoma or since Michigan early in September.
Two back set, getting Texas running to the wide side of the field. Really good first down run. I really like what Oklahoma's doing in the run game right now. They're switching it up from two back to one back. Everything's misdirection. Got a lead blocker on those two back plays. I really like what Oklahoma, how they're attacking in the run game.
Yeah, it's creative. It really is. I thought there was a hold that time. That Colson Boston was getting grabbed from behind, but either way, that's what's opened the edge up.
False start there on Oklahoma. Again, we bring that up. It's a good point to bring up, though, Aaron, that Colton Vosick has passed Justice Finkley. That's pretty obvious now. Colton Vosick playing earlier and earlier in games. He provides that pass rush with a little more disruptive ability off the edge.
I agree with that. That's another false start for Oklahoma. It's going to back them up.
This is where this misdirection is really good by Oklahoma. It doesn't work unless your quarterback's a playmaker naturally with his feet and actually has a feel for this run game stuff, and Michael Hawkins certainly does.
Yeah, it's a whole different offense that we've seen earlier in the year from Oklahoma. That almost like they had to get to the bye week with Hawkins and get some work done on this, but it does feel like it's more of what Seth Luttrell was doing at North Texas and some other places. There's a big play right there.
Yeah, the foul timed that perfectly.
Yeah, as you said, Jerry, with this misdirection, the linebackers are going to have to be smart and play it. They're going to have to make plays here to get this thing corralled.
So what if you're Seth Luttrell and you see that, you're going to pull that and throw it right over the top of that linebacker at some point. That's the next part of the offense for Oklahoma. Good throw there on second down by Michael Hawkins to his tight end.
Yeah, big third down play here. 5.5 left in the second quarter.
Well, it's pretty clear, guys, that this Michael Hawkins change was necessary. You know, the Jackson Arnold thing may have been controversial in Norman at times, but this is a whole different offense. We saw them utilize against Tennessee and certainly even most of the Auburn game, and it's been effective so far.
This is one awful play call on third down. Coach, they ran wide side of the field behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 2. Oh, my gosh, what a bad play call. Now they have to punt.
Yeah, who was that? Gilbo? Jalen Gilbo?
That was Gilbo. I mean, that was a bad play call.
Yeah. But it really sets up pretty good now for Texas with over 4 minutes to go to stretch the lead.
Yeah, I can't believe that was his 3rd and 2 call. Wow. He took one. He ran wide behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, Silas Bolden is fearless, isn't he? Wide behind the line of scrimmage with the running back. So you give a fast defense a chance to pursue, and then he took the ball out of Michael Hawkins' hands. To me, that's got to be a run-pass option with the quarterback on that 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
I did not like that from Oklahoma, but good for Texas. They have the ball at the 16.
Yeah, it's a big drive here, guys. Remember, Texas started with the ball, so Oklahoma will get the ball coming out of halftime, I believe. And this is an opportunity to go get points before you get to half and get to the 2-score lead if you can. Even a field goal make you feel good going on up 7.
I think people are saying Ryan Wingo is now in. I think it's the first action for Ryan Wingo of the game. So we're going to have 2 receivers each side of the formation. We'll hunt Helm now in motion, but 2 to each side of the formation and going to run it wide with Trey Wisner. Good gain there. Motion Helm into the play. Ran it right wide to the boundary side of the field. Good first down play by Texas there. 5-yard gainer.
Yeah, I think Wisner right now is your guy got the most juice in the run game for Texas. I mean, obviously the yardage would tell you that, but it just looks like he's more confident with the ball right now. He's only 3 yards on 5 carries.
Oh, big 3rd down coming up here.
Yeah. Quinn surveys the field. Let's see from the second angle if anybody's open. Nowhere to go with the football. Swings it out to the right side. DeAndre Moore, good one-on-one tackle there by the Oklahoma safety. Nickel, Cheetah, whatever he is there, creates a 3rd and 6 coming up on the Texas 20.
All right, big play here, guys. Big play
And
call.
boy, is it. And boy, is it.
Okay. Why has he not been in the game?
Exactly.
Can anybody explain to me why Wingo has not been in the game?
No, I can't. Because Wingo.
Every time he touches the ball, almost, it's an explosive play.
Yeah.
And he didn't touch it until 4 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah.
Half.
Crazy. Good play.
Texas is gutting them here now, guys. Huge play. Oh, no.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, I didn't want to say it. I just heard the cannon go off before you guys got to see that play.
Well, I'm sure they'll review
We'll
this.
take it.
We'll take it. I'm sure they'll review this somehow, some way. Somebody said Bolden finally scored. Look,
I didn't
Trey
think that
Wisner
was the way Silas Bolden would score.
guts him on a counter. Guts him on a counter to the field side here. Here's the replay. Maybe not even a counter, just outside zone. Bolden got a good block. Watch Bolden's hustle on this play. Wisner's running free. Knocked the ball out. If Bolden isn't hustling in this play, it's not made. There was no reason for Bolden to hustle on that play other than that's him. That's what the guy does. We said, who's going to make the Jordan Whittington play for this team this year? You just saw it. That's what happened against TCU. Oh, even though Whittington was chasing down after a turnover, that's a play that Bolden made off a sheer freaking hustle. I'm not sure anybody else makes, Coach.
No doubt. Brandon Huey hit it on nail on the head. God loves us to give us a break like this in this game.
Yeah, and good. Not only did he hustle down there, Jerry and Coach, he he got control and made sure he didn't kick that ball out of bounds or roll out of bounds. He really felt like he knew he had to recover it and keep himself in bounds. I thought he did a great job.
He did. Absolutely. And again, and I'm not taking away from other Texas wide receivers, but if you make the block on that play in the run game, Coach, how many receivers are going to chase that play down the field? Not all of them.
Very, very few.
No doubt.
There it is. Silas becomes legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great comparison to Jordan Whittington. It's on that level.
Yeah, it was. Yep, Jordan Whittington did that against TCU last year, saved the play that ended up allowing Texas.
Again, here's the replay of the play. He's 5 yards behind the line, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He has no choice to chase this play, or he has no reason to chase this play other than he's a hustle player.
Yeah. Yeah, God loves Silas Bolden.
Yeah, and
otherwise, that's a touchback going the other way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, great hustle and good fortune. But Trey Wisner, as we talked about there yesterday, one of my picks to click in this game, and right now he's brought some run game to Texas now. 51 yards, 12.8 yards to carry, and that one, a great job by the Oklahoma defender. He punched it out from behind. Wisner thought he was going to. Wisner was about to reach for the goal line. So good anticipatory play by the DB, knowing the ball's about to come loose a little bit, and he got his right fist up in there.
Yeah, Quentin, you're exactly right. Thanks for the super chat. That's culture.
Yeah,
that's the film you show, like you show Jordan Whittington.
Yeah,
you never know when you're going to save the game.
And I saw somebody in the chat. They're like starting to question Coach Choice. I don't think so. That was actually just a good play by Oklahoma. Trey Wisner's reaching like he's about to score a touchdown. He knows he's about to get contacted, so he's going to dive for the end zone. Oklahoma guy just made a play on that one. That was just, sometimes we got to give credit to the other team too. That was just a good hustle play by Oklahoma on that play, because it was almost perfect timing, and Wisner was about to start reaching for the goal line. So I'm not sure I put that one on Choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I all of that. I mean, what you just said. I mean, the Oklahoma guy's hustling. They're beat. You would tell Wisner should know to secure the ball, but in that moment in the Texas OU game, Coach, you see the end zone. You're going to try to start reaching for that bad boy.
Yeah,
you're from DeSoto, Texas. You're about to score in the Texas OU game, and this is a really smart play. But obviously, however this game goes the rest of the way, Silas Bolden, the Oregon State transfer, immortalizes himself in the Texas OU game with a play that, as you say, what a deflating situation that would be if Oklahoma had the ball right now in a 7-3 ball game. Now Texas up that 2-score lead we talked about.
Yeah, up 2 scores. They call quarterback draw right out of the gate on first down. Good play call. Michael Hawkins gets a first down run. That gets us to the 2-minute timeout, I guess, or it's not the warning in college football because we got to have a different term, right? But 2 minutes to play here. Just a quick review. First down, Oklahoma, 1st and 10 on their 35, 14-3, 2 minutes remaining. Texas up to 170 yards, 119 passing, 51 rushing. Coach, the big thing on that play, too, it's going to be remembered because of Bolden. I'm going to remember the explosive run. That's what I remember, because this Oklahoma defense, they have given up big games rushing this year. I believe people have rushed the football on them this year. If Texas can start running the football, nothing slows down the pass rush of Oklahoma like, ooh, we just got gashed.
Yeah. And Ryan Wingo with the 44-yard play on that drive was obviously the key play on that drive, other than the fumble recovery by Silas Bolden.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. 2 explosive plays back to back. Texas kind of hit them quick too after that. So again, I'm Isaiah Bond after that play where he got smoked. By the way, he is limped out of the tent. So we'll have to see where he's at in this game. But maybe that's why we saw Ryan Wingo there. Some other scores: Illinois up 24-3 on Purdue, Notre Dame up 21-7 on Stanford, BYU up 14-7 on Arizona, Georgia up 10-3 on Mississippi State, USC beating Penn State 17-6 inside the 2 minutes at the half, 17 and undefeated Pittsburgh up 17-9 on Cal at the half.
Absolutely, guys. That was the drive Texas needed. It only went 4 plays. It went 84 yards, and they're in the end zone. You mentioned the Wingo play, the explosive on a big third down. This is the separation Texas wanted. Now, playing the Coach Shipley, they're thinking 2-minute drill. We need to get down and get points because we get the ball coming out of half. This is where Jerry was talking about. If they do fall behind 2 scores, do they get aggressive? Can maybe Texas take advantage of that? See if they can turn something over here late in the half.
Yeah. And it's really good to see Quinn's teammates rallying around him and helping him because, we're really close at some point, had we not had some big plays, to probably sitting Quinn down because I'm not sure Quinn's ready to play in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, he certainly is mentally. Physically, I don't know that he certainly doesn't seem to be himself. He's certainly playing well enough for us to have a 14-3 lead, but you got to give credit to his teammates as well. But I'm hoping they can continue to do this because, you don't want to go into a quarterback controversy deal. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that Manning could come in and do a great job for us. But as long as Quinn can keep us moving down the field and putting points on the board, keeping maybe a 2-touchdown, a 2-possession lead on OU, he's going to be okay. Huge series right here. Huge.
Yeah, it is, especially with Oklahoma getting the ball out of half. This is the opportunity to try to get more points, and they're going to try to double dip, I would have to imagine, if you're Brett Venables.
Well, here's the thing. Texas has 2 timeouts. Oklahoma does as well. So it's a big 1st and 2nd down coming for Oklahoma. And again,
fumble. Yes.
Oh, Texas.
Boom. Boom.
Hey, Coach Colin Simmons was so fast off the edge on this play. So fast off the edge on this play. Michael Hawkins had no choice but to run that thing up the middle. I'm not sure who got their hands on it, but it looked like Vernon Broughton maybe. Okay, that was Anthony Hill with the strip.
Anthony Hill.
Vernon Broughton with the fumble recovery. All right, 1st and 10 on the Oklahoma 43. 2 timeouts here, plenty of time. Texas does not have to be in a rush. They can run the football if they want. This needs to be the final drive of this half for any team.
Yeah, great job by Anthony Hill.
Yes, sir.
Turnovers are 1-1. Turnovers are 1-1 in this game. So, again, Texas needs to have the even on the turnover battle.
Colby, weakest player in the front 7 said Gabe Eicher from Oklahoma. Look at there, baby. Let's run this thing in the end zone.
Wow, Texas, what a quick strike. There you go, Mr. Wisner. Now your son's got a touchdown. Derek was texting earlier messaging about his he was hurt because he didn't get that TD. But look at him running through tackles.
Hey, Coach, 2 explosive runs in a row. Explosive, not just 15-yard explosive, 38 and 43.
Yeah.
Those are huge runs.
No more champagne. I'm with you, baby. Here we go.
There you go. There you go, Mr. Wisner. There you go, Mr. Wisner.
OU is over there saying, uh-oh, the sleeping giant is awake.
Nothing slows down a pass rush like getting your ass gutted in the run game.
There ain't no doubt.
Hey, listen, guys, what's Rod going to talk about when he comes on here? Here's one of those 21-point runs, 21-0 runs that Texas has gone on here, in this quarter. And now all of a sudden this thing is well in control, and Oklahoma's in trouble.
And so look at this. Coach, what would you – Gunnar Helm pulls, has to have the key block here as they slant the offensive line to the boundary side of the formation. Really good. I like what they did in the run game there. Oklahoma linebackers bit. They played with the motion of the offensive line. They false stepped just enough to where if Trey had that cutback, that they weren't there.
So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's a beat writer for OU named Gabe Biker. And it's not what Deep Money can't get, Gabe Biker. I was wrong. I thought the guy's name was Gabe Biker, but it's Gabeeiker, Gabe Eicher,
yes,
who covers OU I kind of threw him some shade this week because I thought his handle was gay biker.
That's pretty funny.
So that's what you're seeing those chats down there with. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So gay biker.
They love you, Coach.
said,
They love you.
yeah, he said run right at number 0. He's the weak spot on the defense.
Yep.
Woo! Yeah, keep running at him.
Hey, I'm gonna throw another. I gotta stop laughing. I gotta say in the game, I'm gonna throw another one at you. Quick score. Texas still has 2 timeouts. Sark's not gonna just let this clock run into halftime.
Yeah,
Okay?
good point.
If
Good
they
point.
get if Oklahoma doesn't get 6 or 7 yards on this first down, watch what happens. Sark will get aggressive because he's got Oklahoma on their heels.
Yeah, they do. And that's that quick strike Texas. You feel like you're in the game, and the next thing you know,
Fumble! Woo!
Another one. Wow.
Baby, we are in this game. Boom. Surely that's our ball.
They're going to say he was down and then take it from the view.
No.
Let's see. Well, it's going to go to the replay.
is there a clear recovery, guys? Looks like
Clear recovery. Question is, was he down on the replay? Let's see. Clear recovery, Texas. 2 hands on the ball.
No,
That
no
ball's
doubt.
out.
It's
That
out.
ball's out. Ball's
Heck
out.
yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ball's out. Hey, hell of a play. Was that Makuba? If in the chat, it looks like it was Makuba or Derek Williams. But
Derek Williams gets low.
Derek Williams, that Oklahoma Taylor Tatum is 2 hands on the ball, pads drop. You know how hard that is to get low and cause a fumble there? Derek Williams, great play. Hell of a play by Derek Williams. That is a running back that was doing exactly what you should do on that run. You feel the contact, 2 hands on the ball, drop your pads and get low, and Derek Williams was able to get under him and cause that fumble. Hell of a play, Derek Williams. That fumble's not on a running back. You got to give credit to defensive players. That guy did everything he was coached to do. Derek Williams just made a hell of a play.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right, so it's another chance for Texas with 1:40 to go and the 2 timeouts. This thing could really get stretched out. This is going to be shades of the end of the first half at Michigan. It didn't look like that for most of the half guys, but go back to the Michigan game. It was 24-6 at the half. This one has a chance to be 24 or maybe 28-3 if the Longhorns could do this offensive momentum.
Everybody wants to throw over the top here. I want Texas to run the clock,
Yes,
some points and get in at the half.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
I just want Texas to. Hey, look, you may gut them on the run again, or right now play action, coach. After these last 2 runs, watch the play action here from Sark.
Well, knowing Sark, he's fixing to go for the home run right here.
Yeah, he's going to play action something here.
Yeah, play action. Exactly.
So Isaiah Bond, I believe they're talking about now. If you hear it on the telecast, guys, Bond is limping back to the locker room. Looks like his day is done, or at least half is done.
At least he's limping under his own power. That's a good sign. They're not.
Oh, Matthew Golden.
Golly bum.
Matthew Golden that was the easiest touchdown he'll ever have in his life.
Easiest. Ah.
That was a play. That was a play call from Sark, and Matthew Golden will not be getting a NIL endorsement from the Golden Nugget.
Hey, CJ Vogel called that.
Yeah.
CJ Vogel earlier this week said Matthew Golden will throw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, they've been working on this, and
CJ almost had it.
They've been working on this double pass, and look at Oklahoma get gutted in the run game. First down run, Jaden Blue coming back to the wide side of the field. Let this clock run. Let this clock run. Brings up a big 2nd and 4 from the Oklahoma 19. Texas is gutting Oklahoma in the run game. Running backs have 12 carries for 116, guys.
Well, look, once Quinn settled down and started completing passes, you got to have 12 different receivers have caught a pass for 119 yards, and as you said, they're gutting them in the run game now.
Yeah.
So here's a A little quick throw off the little misdirection here by Quinn. The DeAndre Moore is going to get it to 3rd and 3.5 is what it looks like. Or actually, yeah, 3rd and 3.5. So we'll see what they do on this 3rd down run or 3rd down play. So you call timeout here.
What do you do now? 4th and 1.5. You kick the field goal, go for it. What do you do?
I think the way I'm running the ball, I'd go for it, but that's just
Sark's gonna let the clock run all the way down and kick a field goal.
Yeah,
that's okay too.
That's what he should do. Take the point.
Probably smart. Don't get greedy.
But now he didn't. He called timeout. So
somebody did.
Sark called timeout at 24 seconds to go. So it makes you think he's going to go for this.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have called timeout if he was going to kick a field goal here. He's going to call timeout. He's thinking about he's going to go for this 4th and 1 and see if he can get one more shot at the end zone. If he can get this 4th and 1, he can get a shot or two at the end zone, then take the points. Coach, would you have just let it run down and take the points here?
Heck no.
Heck no.
I'm Mr. Aggressive. Hey, thanks for the super chats, guys. We had a couple of super chats run through, and you're right on. Let's go, baby.
People are in the chat saying, does Sark go for it? I think Sark's going for it. He would not have called timeout with 25 seconds left. Oklahoma was content to get out of here.
You're right.
Sark called timeout with 25 seconds to go. He's going for this 4th and 1, or maybe he sees if he can draw him off or something. But he's going for this 4th and 1, it looks like to me. He feels like Oklahoma's on their heels. They can't stop him in the run game. He's got receivers open right now. Sark's feeling it right now. We'll see if Texas can execute this 4th and 1. If they can execute this 4th and 1 and get a 1st down, Texas has 1 timeout left, so you get 2 shots at the end zone before a field goal.
222 yards for Texas in the second quarter. That's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of felt like, again, early rust for Quinn, and then getting the wind, guys, being here at the Fair Park. I can tell you this wind is a factor. I know Sark wants to be aggressive. That's probably why he's going for this here, Jerry, knowing that, whether he has the wind or not in the 3rd quarter, to have the wind is a luxury in this game right now. And try to get as many points on the board as you can.
It was 4th and 1. They got 6 yards, but it's going to be a hold. So it's going to be 4th and 11, and now you have a 45-yard field goal.
All right, what's the hold call? Who's that on?
I think it's going to be on Helm on the edge. Oh, they called that on wing. They called it on Helm. Yeah, that's Helm.
Yeah, that's a pretty picky call.
Yeah.
That is a pretty picky call.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Now, they need Auburn to convert this right now. They need Auburn to convert this.
Yeah, that was not a hold. You could see Sark's disgust on that because all the guy did was turn around and fall down on him. I mean,
and Auburn misses the field goal, guys. Wow.
Wow, that's 2 missed field goals.
Okay, they called a timeout. I think
Oklahoma.
They called a timeout before the kick.
Wow, Brent Venables did.
Thanks, Quentin.
Wow.
Thanks, Quentin.
All right, that gives it Longhorns a second chance at 3 points. And, that was, guys, go back to that Gunnar Helm hold. That was a really bad call. The kid for Oklahoma was just twisting himself to, I don't know, flop is the best way I could put it. And Gunnar was just blocking the guy.
Yeah, Sark's just kidding around with his kicker.
His kicker tried to do some acting lessons there. He got bumped into and went down hard, but I think he'll make this one. You got to get a second chance for a kicker this quality.
Yeah,
feel pretty good.
Yeah, you know, I'm not in the stadium obviously, but he's down crosswind here. We saw Oklahoma's kicker miss a 44-yarder wide right. Auburn's missed wide right. There's something with this wind with these kickers that they're missing these mid-range 40-yard field goals right. We'll see if Bert Auburn gets this one in from the right side of hash. But that's 2 kickers that have missed wide right. So there's something with this wind with these guys right now a little bit.
Well, and I would say eyewitness count, the wind is down more than it's been at any point.
Wow
is right. I tell you what, when you're watching the TV, that goalpost looks like it's about 5 yards wide.
Well, I mean, I'm going to take a little credit for that. I think he was trying to play for that wind. And as I'm telling you, I've been sitting here staring at these flags for the last 4 hours. Right then, the wind was down. There was almost just a light breeze. And he maybe was playing for that little shove he was getting the last kick, and it didn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make those. If we're going to be a championship team, we've got to make those field goals.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, I'm looking at a Texas flag and an American flag right here off to my left. And that all morning, all day during our radio broadcast, Gusty, right as he was kicking that ball, they were almost flat on the flagpole. Weird stuff at the Cotton Bowl. But still, 21-point quarter, guys. It's as disappointing as that is to see it end that way. You feel good about 3 straight points and a 3-score lead for Texas. And thank you to Anthony Hippolito. He is vote for Anthony for our second quarter sponsor. We're into our halftime show, brought to you by One Source Gas of Central Texas. If you have a business that has compressed gas needs, whether it be CO2 for your bar taps, CO2 for your soda machines, certainly propane, any type of gas, medical industry, industrial industry, One Source Gas of Central Texas and Boston is your go-to. 214-8484, One Source Gas. Guys, halftime thoughts, 21-0. Rough first quarter, great second quarter, but ended with a missed kick.
I was thinking about that. You know what my overwhelming first half thought is? And while Quinn, it shows you're 13 of 17 for 122, an interception and a touchdown, he did not play a good first half. And if Quinn plays a good first half, this game is probably 30-3 right now.
Yeah.
The only reason this is 21-3 is Quinn he played a poor first quarter, being honest. Just being honest. That was a poor first quarter for him. You cannot play this game to not get hurt. It never, ever, ever, ever worked, and it never will. And he has got to let it go. That's the only way he can play this game. If you're not healthy, don't play in the game, but don't play to not get hit. It will not work in this game, ever.
Yeah. Well, I expect to see Quinn in the game until Texas loses a lead. And I hope that doesn't happen. But there's no doubt Manning, I say that. I don't know this for sure, but you got to feel good about having a guy like that come in.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. The very positive for Texas, they got through Quinn's first quarter struggles. And anybody that thinks that wasn't a struggle, it was ugly. But they're gashing them in the run game. They've gotten Quinn settled in. We'll see if Isaiah Bond's out this game. It means the rest of this game, it means War Ryan Wingo, obviously. But Quinn settling in. But the biggest concern, if I'm Oklahoma right now, outside of, man, how do we make up 3 scores with our offense? Texas is gashing them in the run game. Wisner and Blue have combined for 13 carries for 152 in this game. 13 for 152. I guarantee you when Oklahoma went into this game, Coach, they didn't think they were going to be looking at Texas. Sorry, that was the wrong stat. 12 for 116. 12 for 116. I guarantee you Brent Venables didn't think they were going to get gashed in the run game.
Yeah, 8.1 yard average per rush, including Quinn Ewers 1.5, minus 1.5.
Yeah, I think, as you said, Jerry, I mean, the half comes down to Quinn. I think the early struggles, but he only ended up with 4 incompletions. But even then, there were quick passes, short passes, and it did feel like he was favoring, not stepping into those throws. And is that to avoid stretching the oblique and still dealing with a little bit? Maybe. Same time, Sark got into his play calling bag and spread the ball around, and then those counter plays started to gash them in the run game. I thought that was a really impressive first half of play calling by Sark, maybe a quarterback that's not 100%. But either way, this is, you guys are awesome. Hook 'em. I think we need Wingo, Wisner, and Bolden on every offensive play. Well, I mean, Sark's not going to change those stripes for that leopard. He's got 11 different receivers have caught a pass in this game. And guys, think about it. The missed field goal, bad luck. Matthew Golden on that trick play, that was there. He just threw a bad ball, but they'll make fun of him for all week long about that throw because it was a walk-in touchdown for Wingo. But it's funny. I mean, I know I keep talking about the wind, but when he actually kicked that ball, the flagpoles were flat, and now it's back to what the wind was right before the kick that went right. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those weird situations where for the first time the wind stopped. I don't know if that played into his missed kick, but either way, weird. But that's not the great way you wanted to end the half with no points. But you do have to be happy about the 21 you put on the board in the quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, the Silas Bolden play was massive. They just seen the replay again, massive. Look, in the games like this, who makes that unexpected play? Silas Bolden made the unexpected play. I'll tell you the other one. That Derek Williams caused fumble was an unbelievable play by Derek Williams. I'm going to harp on this again. But Taylor Tatum did everything right as a running back, and that's sometimes you just got to give credit to a defensive player. I give credit to Oklahoma on the Wisner strip. You got to give credit to Derek Williams on this. Taylor Tatum was 2 hands on the ball on contact, dropped his knees, dropped his pads, was going to fall forward. Derek Williams knifed under a running back that had dropped his pads and dropped his knees to get a helmet and right shoulder pad on a football. Those are 2 massive plays in this game because those aren't always plays you see made, and you definitely don't see them back to back, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that was huge. That was a play of the game in the first half. That was the best play of the first half.
You broke the attention. Pay attention says we need recruiting news now, Jerry. Look, I don't know what to tell you, but Texas has over 30, whether that's committed guys, they're committed to other schools, committed to Texas guys. Texas is still recruiting over 30 combined 4-star, 5-star prospects in 25, 26, 27 scheduled to be in town for the Georgia game next weekend. So Texas needs to finish this thing off in the second half. You want Georgia to beat Mississippi State. Don't mess around and get upset here. College game day is going to be in Austin next week. Bring that thing to Austin as the top 5 matchup. Georgia, handle your business. Texas, handle your business. And that will be about as unbelievable a show for recruits as Steve Sarkisian ever imagined he could have in Austin.
Okay, Justin Yarbrough, thanks for the super text. Jerry, surprise, no Jonte yet. So you go to Arnold in the second half.
Look, I don't know. Look, I'm not sure. Michael Hawkins didn't play bad first half, guys.
No.
To me. Okay. Jackson Arnold isn't the answer for Oklahoma for me. But here's one thing, and I'll be interested to see the rest of the season with Oklahoma. I was told Monday that the plan is Arnold's done. He's going to redshirt, and he's going to go into the portal. Now, an injury or something could change that, but I was told that's the plan. And I'm not sitting here saying I cover University of Oklahoma football to take it as golden and run with it. I'm just telling you what I was told early in the week. We'll see. Things change. But I think that is maybe the plan right now. But injuries, things can change that a little bit. But look, if you're Oklahoma, you built the game plan around Michael Hawkins. Oklahoma does not have another quarterback that can execute this type of game plan. No chance. So Michael Hawkins is not playing a bad football game. In fact, I would say this, Coach. If you brought Casey Thompson or Jackson Arnold in this game with the way Texas is starting to get after the Oklahoma offensive line, that's even worse for the Oklahoma.
No
offense.
doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
By the way, people are asking about Bond. I'm waiting on somebody inside the stadium on Isaiah Bond. You saw him limp. He limped out of the tent. He also limped off the field at the end of the first half. He walked himself out to the tunnel and out of the game, but he did limp to the locker room before half. So I think we have seen the last of Bond today.
Yeah.
And somebody in the chat asked, talking about Bond against Georgia, and I agree. I'm interested to see where Isaiah Bond's at, what they have to say about Isaiah Bond, because I do think that impacts the Georgia game with his speed.
Yeah, my pick for the big play guy was Isaiah Bond in this game because he's done it in so many big games prior to coming to the University of Texas. So I really thought being in this big game would really be able to show his ability, but unfortunately he's been hurt. But thank goodness Wingo's been in the game. He's got 1 reception with 44 yards.
Yeah.
He's I guess he's our leading receiver. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
So I say play number 5 every snap in the second half. Okay.
Guys, super chat.
Bubble.
Absolute.
Bubble.
Ass puddle.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't.
Thanks for the super chat.
About a B minus C plus half. You know what? B minus. Oh, there's our. There's producer Matt.
Thank you, Matt. I've done it again.
That was a B minus offense for sure.
It was
B minus because the first quarter was a fat F, a big old fat F minus. Mostly because Quinn did not make the throws needed, and the offensive line had to get it together a little bit in pass protection. But that was a big fat F in the first quarter, in an A in the second quarter. So we matched those up, probably a B minus. The crime piece, $4.99. Thank you for that super chat. I was critical of Tapp a few years ago. He's a pretty good player now. Huge sack, really good sack, good play.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you, crime piece. I thought the same. I thought the same thing. But he is a vital part of our defense.
Yes. Hey, by the way, we talked about it, Coach. I know Bobby and I talked about it. When Mississippi State had success running the football, an underrated part of what the Texas defense missed in that game is a Derek Williams, the best tackler at the safety spot, the best run force guy. He's back now, and he's making plays against the run, and Texas did miss him against Mississippi State.
Rod Babers joins us. Rod,
what's up, brother?
buddy? What's your thoughts on the first half?
I think that, you saw that Sark run we talk about, and it wasn't necessarily the offense that went on that run. That last 2 minutes of the half, 2.5 minutes of the half, basically blew the game wide open. And we talk about those quintessential Sark runs that are a characteristic of his team, and now it's a complementary element of his blueprint to win. It used to be just the offense that was, going gangbusters, and they were tough to stop, and they would score quick. This game hasn't really necessarily been about the offense. The defense is what sparked the run. It was the defense that forced turnovers and that dominated in the last, part of that second quarter that really allowed Texas to separate. So that's probably, to me, that's a little different. I haven't seen that. I've talked about the Sark runs before. I don't think I've ever seen a run that's been sparked by the defense. And that's something new for Sark. And I know people are upset about the offense, and we can get to complaining about that in a second. Sometimes you got to give Brent Venables a little bit of credit. He's pretty damn good at what he does. But I think ultimately what I'm seeing here is the complementary element of Texas football now. Your offense can have what do you want to give it? A B minus?
B minus, C plus.
Yeah, whatever you want to give it. And you can still be up 21-3 at half over a ranked team and your rival, because you're not just a one-dimensional, one-phase team. Your defense is also an elite defense that can make some plays. So that's what I'm saying. And with what we thought, I heard Kirk Herbstreit say it. We've been saying it all week. Kirk Herbstreit literally said it on the broadcast, and I couldn't believe it. He said, I don't know how this Oklahoma offense is going to score. And we've been saying it all week long. I mean, he looked at it for about a quarter and a half, and he said, yeah, I'm not really sure how they're going to score points. And same thing we've been saying, I don't really know how they're going to score against this Texas defense. I don't know really how it happens. How bad is Jackson Arnold? I mean, how bad is Casey Thompson? They got to be really bad, man. They got to be really bad, Coach.
Rod, we were talking about before you came on. The problem is Michael Hawkins isn't playing that bad, right?
No, not really.
Everything's misdirection. The game plan's built around a quarterback that's a playmaker with his feet. It's not like they can just pull him out of the game and run the same game plan with Jackson Arnold or Casey Thompson. And now that the Texas pass rush is starting to get home, putting either one of those guys is putting on a silver platter for the defense. At least they have misdirection going for them right now. But, Rod, my question, second part, can Oklahoma keep playing the safeties deep in this game now? They can't.
Oh, say that again, Jerry. I missed it.
Can Oklahoma keep playing the safeties deep? Can Oklahoma keep playing the safeties deep in this game? They can't. They're getting gashed in the run game.
Yeah, they were doing a good job early on, and Sark figured it out. He figured out, hey, they got light. You're going to give me light boxes. The hell with it. We're just going to take the light box when you give it to us. So I'm with you. I don't know how often they can do that. And once they start bringing guys down to stop the run, and I'm sure Texas is still going to continue to try to pound the rock. Once they bring guys down and try to stop the run, then you open up the RPO game, and you're going to open up, a little bit of the play action game for Ewers, and I'm sure that's the plan. But that was just listen. Football is a simple game. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Right. They're gonna keep dropping the safeties back in 3 high and 2 high looks, and then automatically that means you have the numbers advantage in the box. Just take it, and that's what Sark's doing. Trey Wise is the one that's really taking. I think he's taking advantage of this moment for him. Good for him.
5 carries, 94 yards.
Yeah.
He's on track for almost a 200-yard game. In fact, he may have a 200-yard game if they keep feeding him the rock, and Texas, with this lead, should be running the ball in the second half. Trey Wisner could certainly have his first 200-yard game as a Longhorn against our biggest rivals.
Yeah, his advantage is he has better patience and vision, it seems, than Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue's got more elite physical traits. When you start thinking about patience and vision in terms of runs and letting blocks align, Trey Wise does a great job of that, and that's just him being, kind of a mature veteran in terms of him running the rock and knowing exactly his responsibility and knowing exactly when the play is going to break and when it's going to open up. But he's done a great job. I mean, Trey Wise, I'll give him a ton of credit because I don't think the offense really didn't have much until he started to get going.
Yeah, so again, Aaron Hogan taking a little break here. 21-3 at the half. Oklahoma gets the ball to receive the second half. Texas will be kicking downwind. Rod, if Texas forces a 3-and-out here,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, unless Oklahoma does something drastic offensively, guys.
Unless Texas starts turning it over, Quinn starts throwing a pick six or something momentum-wise.
Yeah, this game is over unless Oklahoma does something drastic. Like a quarterback change would be a drastic thing. Unless you do something drastic offensively, this game is over because Texas defense is just going to suffocate that offense. And right now, the dam is starting to break. Texas is starting to figure some things out offensively. They're about to make some adjustments. I'm sure Brent Venables still has something in his bag, but there's only so much he can do, and his bag is only so deep. So I expect Texas to come out and somehow, somewhat in this next half, be able to run the ball and be a little bit more balanced, but also, just continue to build the lead because I just don't see the Oklahoma offense being able to move the football and score.
Well, Rod,
when the leading rusher is your quarterback and he has 19 yards rushing, that doesn't bode well for the second half.
Yeah, hey, Rod, I want to add to this. People, I know people just say, well, just pull. You can make a quarterback change. Who are they going to throw to?
Exactly.
Who's open?
Nobody.
Who's beating Manny Muhammad?
Jade Barron. Nobody's beating those guys. No, I'm with you.
They don't have the personnel. They're all on the sidelines in just their jerseys and shorts. They're not playing.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why the receiver has 15 yards receiving. So
yeah. And that's why you need the dual threat quarterback, because you need at least a spark and a catalyst, somebody that can make something out of nothing, improvise, force the defense to have to adjust to them and allocate resources. But then on top of that, I don't know if the young man he doesn't have many resources around him to help him in this moment. I mean, it's a true freshman we're talking about here. First true freshman to start for Oklahoma. That's a lot to ask. So at this point, I don't know what tricks they pull out. We did see the dope. Hey, we did see the trick play though, Coach. We talked about it.
CJ called
we go see it. Hey, almost happened. Yep. See, I know CJ said Golden too. He did. He said Golden was going to get
he did.
They've been working on that. They've been working on it in practice this week.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense. We ain't seen one all season long, so that made perfect sense. But yeah, I mean, Venables had a good game plan, guys. I think we got to admit that early on. And there's rust. Quinn is rusty. All right, Quinn looks rusty, and he looked rusty early on in this matchup. And I think Brent Venables early on had a good game plan, but I believe now Sark figured some things out late in that second quarter, and essentially was, hey, we can rely on the run game.
Okay, Rod, I want to ask you a question. Do you think Quinn is healthy, or do you think he is a little rusty? Why do you think he had kind of a slow start in the first quarter?
I think it's rust. And I also think it's Brent Venables, man. He throws some crazy looks at you. I'll go back and look at some of those looks, man. He's got guys dropping back to deep halves from, the mid-level of the defense. He's got some funky looks. And hell, at one point, I think Quinn, remember that throw he missed to Isaiah Bond early on in the game?
Yeah.
He was expecting a freaky, crazy look, and it was just a busted coverage. He was like, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He didn't believe his eyes. He didn't believe how open the guy was because Brett Venables had been throwing so much crazy stuff at him. He's like, no, I got to rush it. He just kind of threw it right at him on the line. It's like, you could have lofted that damn thing up Major Applewhite style and let him run right under it. You know what I mean? And he just, because Brett Venables does a great job playing mind games for quarterbacks, man. He really does. And I think it's showing in this game. And that's why Sark's saying, you know what? Eliminate the damn mind games. We got big humans, and they're worn out. Let's just run the rock when we got the numbers advantage in the box. And it's working. Because you ain't got to worry about them dropping 3 high and dropping safeties from crazy places to go too high and single high looks. You ain't got to worry about any of that. If they're going to do all that, then you can just decide you're going to run the ball. And I think you'll see Brent Venables now start blitzing, maybe run blitzing on some early downs. So trying to make some plays in the backfield. But other than that, I don't know much what else you can really do.
I'll tell you what I want to see in the second half. I want to see Quinn actually step into some throws.
Yeah.
You can't play not to get hurt. And you got to be able to get hit. And you got to step in the throws. I want to see him if it was just rust, and I'm not saying it wasn't rust, I want to see him step in the throws in the second half.
Yeah. Confidently. He wasn't confident, right?
He wasn't confident.
That's obvious. Whatever reason it was, injury, Brent Venables' defense, he did not play like a confident quarterback in the first half.
But again, I think the big thing for me, guys, Rod and coaches, what's Oklahoma going to do with their safeties in the second half? They can't. They have to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
If they don't, Texas is going to run for 300 yards.
Yeah.
Yep. Bring them down.
That's a good point, Gary.
Yep. You got to bring him down to the box. He'll bring him down. And because right now you got nothing to lose. You're down 21-3, and your defense hasn't played bad at all. Your defense has been playing pretty damn good, and you're still down 21-3. You got nothing to lose at this point, so they got to start gambling. And he could I don't know if he's going to wave the white flag. You could get him waving the white flag and decide we're going to give them the run, let them take time off the clock, drive 12, 15 play drives. We don't care. We just don't want to get blown out. We don't want you to score 60 on us, and you could get the white flag. I'm not sure because I don't know exactly how much faith they have in the offense to move the football.
By the way, somebody from inside the stadium's texting and said Texas is out warming up. Isaiah Bond not out warming up with the team. So he is absolutely done for the day, but he did walk off under his own power. So we'll see if Sark or Craig Way or anybody has anything to say. Rod, talk about, what did we talk about before this game, second half gets started? We talked about, because you weren't on the broadcast, who's going to make the Jordan Whittington play like Whittington made against TCU. We saw it with Isaiah Bond. We saw it with Isaiah Bond in the first half.
We saw it with Silas Bolden, right?
Sorry. Silas Bolden.
Yeah.
Silas Bolden made the Jordan Whittington play.
He did. It was an amazing play. It was a culture play, right? That's the culture play. You talk about it all the time, Jay. Your culture warriors, that's a culture warrior play. He had no business really being down there. He was just, hey, I got to hustle. I'm hustling. I'm not loafing. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not loafing.
He made the play to break the run open 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, was 20 yards behind the play, and hustled his ass off to be there.
And all he knew, though, Jay, was, because they said he'd already done his job. All he knew was, I'm not loafing. I got to go. That's in practice. You're doing that in practice, too. Break runs, you're doing that in practice, and it paid off in the game. I'm happy for the young man. I'm happy for that was a true culture play right there. It really was. Look at that.
All right, second half is underway, guys, and good kick coverage for the Longhorns as we're back here live from the State Fair. Rod Babers joins us here in our third quarter. It's going to be brought to you by ATX Trees. ATX Trees bringing you the third quarter from their tree farm to your home, and they're big Texas fans as well, and on Texas football fans. They have native trees, 30-gallon trees, 18 varieties in stock, and these are mature trees. They're going to look great in your yard immediately. Plus, they'll give you a warranty, installation, and they take care of them for you, so they look great for the long haul. All right, let's get the third quarter underway. Longhorns playing defense. That's why those points early. Would have liked to have seen that field goal go through, but in the end, the Longhorns are up 18 points to start this quarter. And as I heard you guys talking, Rod, how is Oklahoma going to score? I mean, they can move the ball a little bit, but how are they going to score a touchdown?
By the way,
when I heard Kirk Herbstreit say it on live TV, I was like, wow, he really said it. We've been saying it all week, but then he seems like, I don't really know how they're going to score points. I'm like, I'm glad he said it. I'm glad I wasn't being arrogant in my take because I'm with him at this point. I'm not sure. Texas defense is just too well rounded. They don't really have a weakness anyway, and yet you have so many glaring deficiencies if you're Oklahoma. So I'm not really worried at this point. Now that you have the lead, it's pretty much a done deal. It's all about. I don't know how the movie ends, but I know who wins.
Guys, we got to check on Derek Williams. Just been down. Could not put any pressure on. I believe it was his right leg, and they took him off after this kickoff. So I don't know. It didn't look good, but I have no idea what it was. But let's hope Derek Williams is okay. He's playing a heck of a game against the run.
It's unfortunate. Just came back from injury too,
and he helps in the run game. He
runs the alley. He's one of their best alley cats. He really does. He runs the alley really well.
And again, he caused a big turnover in the first half. And let's see this Texas defense as a safety position without him filling in the run game in the second half. If I'm Oklahoma, I'm attacking that a little bit. And they're going to, Rod, they have a pretty good game plan. Everything's off misdirection. Running back going one way, Hawkins going the other, trying to get those linebackers and false step and see if the edges are going to squeeze down. They got a really good game plan. It's just they don't have enough at wide receiver and tight end in the passing game to help these guys. And their offensive line's not great.
Yeah, they need more explosive elements. They just don't have it. And Texas hasn't sold out to stop the run yet either. Texas, they can, but they really haven't. They still got the safeties back pretty deep. Yeah.
This is what you were saying, Rod. You're fine with this. I mean, you got your safeties back, and they're going to go ahead and take the runs, and that's okay. I mean, that's clock's running, and you got an 18-point lead.
That's exactly right. I mean, at this point, you can tell they're playing complementary football here. Like if they want to drive down 15 play drives and try to do it, that's great. And situationally, I'm sure Johnny Nansen and then PK at one point they'll get tired of this, and you'll see a run blitz of some kind. You'll see them take a chance and try to get them into a third and long situation and get them behind the chains.
A little option football here.
There you go. All right, now you got third down. You can play like if you're Texas, you play this all day, every day. I mean, it's like they're not because they're not taking any chances and they're not even trying to threaten you vertically with a passing game. This is ideally what you want if you're Texas.
Well, and this is what we talked about. They're not going to abandon that game plan to get aggressive because they really can't without the receivers. And that's why those big fumbles were huge to add this thing up to get to 18. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma's not real sure what they want to do.
No, and Rod to hit on it. We've been talking about it. On third and medium, where do they go in the passing game? Where do they go? I mean, Texas can play a softer coverage because they know they're not going to get beat deep. If you know you're not going to get beat deep over the top, where do they go?
And they always keep spying the quarterback, right? Since they're not threatened by the wide receivers, they constantly keep guys in, eyes on the quarterback and spying the QB in creative ways. So, I mean, that's not much Oklahoma can do right now, considering the glaring deficiency they have at the skill positions. So if you're Texas offensively, I can't wait to see now what Texas does. If they still decide to, get Quinn going, or if they just kind of take the run or the light box if Venables gives it to them. And what does Venables do, right? Is Venables going to bring them safety down and go, you know what? I'm not giving you the run anymore. You want this, you got to take it from me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I don't know if Venables is waving a white flag or not. If those safeties are back deep, he's waving that white flag.
That's right.
Take the run. Right. Just don't blow us out.
And they're deep again. They got three guys 10 to 12 yards off the ball at the snap.
That's pretty. Unless you're doing a lot of pre-snap disguise, that would be pretty much what you're doing.
Jaden Jackson's going to be a heck of a player. A guy that Texas brought in for an official visit from IMG. Jaden Jackson is going to be a hell of a player for Oklahoma. He'll be a 3-and-out NFL guy. He came in with his good buddy David Stone. They played at IMG. He took David Stone's spot. David Stone is playing behind him, and Jaden Jackson is a menace.
I like that term.
Menace.
That's what I want from my defenders. I want them to be a menace.
There you go. Gunnar Helm. Somebody called Gunnar Helm game. Who was that on the chat?
I remember that. Somebody did.
Yeah, this is the offense Texas fans hope to see to start the game, but it's starting to click now because once the run game gets going, Weisner's having a big game. Play action, freezes the linebackers, throwing behind them.
So 1st and 10 from the 42.
So technically, I believe that's 21. I don't know because Ryan Niblett, depending on how you want to describe him, that was Ryan Niblett. So technically, they're in 21 personnel there.
Yeah. Got another good run by Weisner there. 8-yarder, gets the ball to midfield. Clock under 10:45. Hey, with Isaiah Bond out too, it's all Ryan Wingo in the second half for the Wingo fans. So we'll see when Sark decides to dial one up for Wingo. It's
He
coming.
don't need one dialed up for him. He just needs the ball. And he don't even need you to dial it. He don't need to be schemed over. Some guys need it. He do not. I mean, that dude, what is he averaging? Damn near, I think it's 24 yards per reception at this point, if I'm not mistaken. After the 44-yarder, he's back up to damn near 25 yards a catch.
Again, flushed out of the pocket. We're getting a little chippy here, guys. This is when Texas has to be smart. They just threw a flag on Cam Williams. This is when Texas has to be smart. Do not get in these games with Oklahoma. Texas just cost himself 15 yards. Cam Williams got the push late, and then they throw the flag. This is what you cannot do. Don't get into these games with these guys, man. You're in total control.
You can't get into the games, but I do understand and respect that he was mad because the Oklahoma defender, you see him kind of belly flopped on Quinn.
Yeah.
So he's taking up for his guy, but you're right, Jerry. You're right. You can't do that. You can go over and say, you should go over and say something to him. You ain't go over and put your hands on, go over and say something like, hey, man, just so you know, you're on my list. You're on my list now. I got 2 quarters. You're on my list. I'm looking.
No, and I agree. And Ryan Nelson said, can't let him punk the quarterback, and Texas didn't. The problem was Cam Williams came in 7 seconds after the scrum already started and made the last push. You're always going to get the flag.
Yeah.
I think it's offsetting, though.
I got no problem with it, though. At this point in the game, I got no problem with it because you got to protect your QB. You got to let them know, especially coming off an injury. I get it.
Well, and especially the way the play went. I mean, Quinn slid, and Dominic Williams came in and belly flopped right on his chest. I mean, this is where he's had the injury. I mean, that was intentional. The fact they didn't call it, I think, is pretty garbage, and Sark's pretty upset about it too.
Yeah, and I get the taking up. Now watch Cam at the end, though.
No, you're right about Cam. You got to be more savvy than that. You got to be more savvy.
You'd already taken up for your quarterback there. You can't make the extra push at the end. That's going to get you flagged every time. It doesn't hurt you in this game. It can hurt you in a later game. That's my point on this.
So you got to learn, control your emotions. It's an emotional environment.
Yep, you're still moving the ball here, guys. It's going to be neutral, but you got a first down. Quinn evaded it and did a nice job. So offsetting penalties, nobody hurt. Ball to 45 and a chance to go really put this game out of reach if it's not already.
Yeah.
Sark's in his bag now with the play calling. They can run it. The Oklahoma linebackers are going to suck up on most play action the way they were getting gouged there in the end of the second quarter. And now it's kind of pitch and catch now with Quinn. See if they can keep that going.
A little counter what they've been doing. Rod pulling at Gunnar Helm with DJ Campbell on that counter. A good little 2-yard gain. Jaden Blue's not going to be that tackle breaker there in that play. He needs to be able to make a cut. He's got to make somebody move and hit the gear. That was not that type of play. Now they're going to come with the reverse behind it.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen maybe we having a change into the guard here? I like Jaden Blue, but it feels like Trey Weisner gives them more in the run game.
Yeah, feels like he's the guy.
Really good reverse run call on the reverse here. Good call because now those Oklahoma players are going with the pool. They're going with the motion of the offensive line. Really good play call.
Wow, great play call.
Well, they hit Quinn too on that again and drug him to the ground. I mean, they're trying to hit Quinn whenever they can. That was just a simple handoff, and the guy decked him.
Man, it's Wingo time. It's Wingo time, man. It's his time right now. They should recognize it's his time. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, that time there was one where you're rolling left, Jerry, and it didn't look like, I know there was pressure, but it didn't feel like Quinn really wanted to rip that one. There was an open receiver, but he would have to throw across his body.
2nd and 10 here from the 18. Just going to go with a little bit of a downhill run game. Jaden Blue's going to twist and spin his way for 8 yards, setting up a 3rd and 2 on the 10.
All right, guys, gonna be 4th and 2 now. Are we going for it, or are you kicking that field goal?
I don't know. It's a great. I'd go for it because I'm not afraid of their offense. I think they can't score. They can't march down the field and score a touchdown. There's no way.
That's right.
I'd go for it because there's no way they're gonna go down the field. They can't. Do it. Yeah. All right. So exactly. So it's like, oh, you didn't get it. Okay. Now march down the field 90 plus yards on me. Yeah. That's what I'd be. Yeah. But.
Yeah, and there's another throw by Quinn that he's not stepping into it. You better do some bad footwork, guys. Now they are going to go for it, trying to get this clinching touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I'd go for it on 4th down. Damn near. What are you afraid of?
Oh man,
make me pay for it.
That was bad by Quinn, guys. Oof.
Got 2 bad throws in a row on 3rd and 4th down.
Oh, Wingo time. We missed it. We missed Wingo time.
I mean,
did you read Quinn? You Sark's lips there. He said, "Set your feet and throw the ball."
I don't know what Quinn's doing. I mean, his footwork is disastrous right now.
This is Mullet Quinn. This is Mullet Quinn.
Mullet
Quinn is bad.
Footwork in the pocket. I hate to be an ass, but it's bad.
Nah, Mullet Quinn has came back. I don't know why Mullet Quinn is resurfaced.
Hey guys, our 3rd quarter here on the watch along brought to you by ATX Trees. But do want to tell you about my buddy Anthony Hippolito once again. He is running for sheriff of Hays County, right there south of Austin, and one of the fastest growing counties in our state. And gosh, he's almost 30 years in law enforcement now, retired APD, now working for the sheriff's department there in Hays County for the current sheriff, Gary Cutler. And Gary has given him a strong endorsement. Anthony's the guy to succeed him there in Hays County, keep their fight against fentanyl going, keep the schools safe, the roads safe, and the general safety of a fast-growing county. Anthony Hippolito. If you're going to the polls, early voting, get it done with Anthony. If you live in Hays County or have friends or relatives who do, please encourage them to vote for Anthony Hippolito. Huge Longhorn fan, too, lifelong Central Texan, went to Hays High School and wants to be the Hays County Sheriff, and a proud and happy, avid watcher of the On Texas Football channel. And probably enjoying the outcome right now. But Jerry, picked that up with the footwork for Quinn. I mean, Sark was ripping him pretty good coming off. Those are 2 pretty easy throws on the 3rd down play to DeAndre Moore. The 4th down play, they go for it, and both throws were kind of lazy with the footwork. And in the wind like this, the ball's just going to float.
I mean, lazy with the footwork, and people in the chat saying quit being hard on him. Me being hard on him, I wonder what Sark said to him coming off the field. It wasn't pretty. That was a bad quarterback play. No way around it. Bad quarterback play. Slow feet, didn't step into another throw, had terrible footwork. You can't play at a high level and execute with footwork like that. It's not going to happen. Even on the simplest of throws, not going to happen. Sorry. I'm not being an ass. I'm being real.
Yeah. No, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, he's you can call it rust. And you can maybe it is something you can attribute to the injury, even though they said he's 100% healthy. Maybe it's psychological because he doesn't want to. Maybe he's feeling a little bit off coming off the injury. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, I agree with you. The footwork on that throw was pretty lazy. That was lazy footwork. Yeah.
And at this point, next time Sark gets in that position, he's probably going to take the points. By the way, because that was a good chance for Quinn there to come up and make a play. Because obviously Ryan Wingo was wide open on that play. But now Texas defense again put in the position where they got to hold Oklahoma because Texas did pass up some points. And again, as Rod said, what's Oklahoma going to do? They're going to drive 90 yards, get a 3 and out, go drive 70 after that? I mean, probably not. But Texas offensively, again, if Quinn's playing at a high level in this game, this thing's way out of hand right now. Way out of hand.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But that's how, to me, and I'm with you. You can be concerned about Quinn and the rust, and we can discuss that because I think those are valid points. But I will say, considering the 21-3 score and Oklahoma, the threat that Oklahoma currently presents, I'm not necessarily worried about this game. And I think for Longhorn fans, you can't always win pretty. It ain't always gonna be pretty. I mean, look at what's happening around the country. Like,
Yeah.
It ain't always going to be pretty, and you can't always play with all three phases at a high level. Your defense is playing at a really high level right now. Your special teams is also playing at a pretty high level too. So, I mean, I think going up against Brent Venables and that defense, I think we got to give that defense some props, but also the fact that Quinn's off. I mean, rust is a real thing. He's rusty.
And by the way, as this game's going on, Rod, Oklahoma offensive line really struggling in pass pro, as they have all season. As this game's gone along, Texas has got their feet wet with this scheme and game plan for Oklahoma. Michael Hawkins doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. That was actually a good thing that he didn't throw that one because Makuba might have picked it. But the Texas defensive line, the edge guys are turning the corner fast right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just, I think for Texas right now, like what's the threat in you being overly aggressive? Like how could they make you pay for being overly aggressive?
Yep.
Usually there are teams that can make you pay for that. Right now, Oklahoma's not in a position to really make you pay for being overly aggressive. Why not pin your ears back and just go?
So here's comes the big one, Rod. I'm for punt. I'm for punt conservative here. I don't go after this punt. I want the ball back about midfield. So I'm going to go punt safe here. I thought it was a good call to go punt safe in the first half in that one situation where you start to have a little momentum. Let's see if they come after this punt or go punt safe. I like punt safe because you're probably getting the ball about midfield.
We'll see. Jeff Banks is an aggressive dude, but I'm with you. Yeah.
Boy, he ripped that punt.
Man.
So, guys, Rod, Texas had 13 yards in the first quarter. They're at 310 right now, and Quinn's not even playing well. 310, and Quinn's not playing well after 13 yards in the first quarter. So, the quick math of that is 297 yards in a quarter and a half.
Yeah, and how much of that is on the ground? I mean, I believe most of that's on the ground because right now that's what Oklahoma's giving you. They decide they want to take away Quinn, the passing game. I think they banked on Quinn coming off the injury, being a little bit off, being a little bit rusty. And I will say that's Oklahoma's strength. I've said forever, Oklahoma's strength is their back seven. Some people would say it's their front seven. I think it's the back seven. I think the way they can play games and manipulate coverages and disguise things with Venables and his creativity, I think that's what gives them a distinct advantage. Is why they're so good taking the football away and playing mind games with quarterbacks. So I think that plays a huge role in why Quinn's a little bit off too. In addition to, yes, I believe he also is rusty. I mean, you eliminate all that when you can just run the football with your big humans, and you have a numbers advantage in the box, and you got a size advantage over their defensive line too. I think that's what Texas has figured out, and it's still guarantee you're gonna be able to move the football just running the ball. You still need Quinn to go make plays in the passing game, which we saw. But if Quinn's a little bit off, it's gonna make their job a whole lot easier. So the game, like I said, the game's done because there's no way Oklahoma can march down the field and score a lot of points unless Texas turns the football over and those become points in themselves. And you're talking about non-offensive touchdowns. That's the only way Oklahoma can, win this game or get back in this game is non-offensive touchdowns. I don't see Texas having a meltdown of that type of magnitude. That ain't happening.
I totally agree. All right, so we're timeout after the Oklahoma punt. Aaron's having some technical difficulties. He's out. I have done play-by-play before in high school football, so I'm taking over. I'm going to set it up and hand it to Rod on these plays, but it's 21-3. Texas is up, 6:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Texas will scrimmage from their own 32. 310 yards for Texas, 119 for Oklahoma. That is 148 pass yards, 162 rushing for the Horns, 51 pass yards only. 68 on the ground for Oklahoma here. Third downs, Texas 3-9. Maybe that has been a weakness today a little bit. 0-1 on fourth downs. Oklahoma 1 of 8 on third downs. That won't get it done against anybody, especially against a good offensive team like Texas. So sacks, Texas up to 3 in this game. I think Bobby Burton had thrown out 4.5 to see if that was going to be an over-under. Time of possession, Oklahoma 20 minutes, 48 seconds. Texas 17-36. So, all right, Katie, I'm the best. I'm not worried about this game. Quinn can't play like this against Georgia. Stark can't get stubborn if Quinn ain't got it. Arch needs to play. We talked about that before. That invites a quarterback controversy, and I don't think Sark's going there. I don't think that's happening, Rod Babers. So I think this is Quinn's team. Quinn's got to play better. He has not played well. And here we go, 1st and 10 from the 32. One back, and Juan Davis double tight set, and they're going to run the little counter with Juan Davis pulling. Oklahoma stuffs that one out, got good numbers in the box, got good penetration there. Looked like that was the number 7 on the penetration, setting up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to rely on the run game now, especially, like I said, Oklahoma's going to pretty much giving it to them. Still keeping their safeties down. They're playing the run well, though. You can tell they got gap integrity. They're pretty decent in their run fits. I think Texas still going to use the play action to get the football downfield and get some chunk yards.
Agree.
Otherwise,
little bunch set coming. Quinn in the pocket. Nobody open. Swings it out left to Trey Wisner. About a 6-yard gain, 5-yard gain. Going to set up a 3rd and 4. I think they're going to give him 6 on that. So Rod Babers 3rd and 4 on the Texas 38. Pass protection's gotten better in this game. Early in the first quarter, I've been hard on Quinn a little bit, but early in the first quarter, Oklahoma was getting more penetration quicker in pass rush. So see what Sark calls here on 3rd and 4 from his own 38.
Yeah, I think Texas was trying to get the football downfield a little bit more early on in the game. And
they had guys wide open, Rod. They had guys running wide open.
Yeah, I mean, that dagger route that he missed on Golden was, that's about as open as it gets. And I think Sark has realized, my quarterback's off. So
there we go. Great pass protection. Quinn doesn't have to step up in the pocket, gets to play in the pocket, rips one over the middle to Matthew Golden, long developing route, crosser, first down, ball in the Oklahoma 39.
I like that empty formation too. Nice game. Yeah, Texas has been actually pretty good out of empty formation this year. And even in this game, they made some big plays out of empty. Helm had that 21-yard out of empty formation. They had another Bond, I think, early on had a reception out of empty formation. Broke pretty good for him.
Again, and now here we go. Oklahoma's still deep at the safeties with the safeties, Rod. Just run that little quick counter, 5 yards for Trey Wisner, an easy 5 yards on first down. Wisner, 9 carries, 108 yards, 2nd and 5 from the Oklahoma 34. Texas up 21-3. We're at 4:20 to go in the third quarter.
You take what they're giving you. Take what the defense is giving you. They're going to give it to you. That's pretty easy. Why not? I think Texas can hand it off all day, every day between their two backs. We haven't seen any Jared Gibson in the game, have we?
We have not. We talked about it in the first half. You wonder if it's pass protection because Oklahoma does get after the quarterback. Trey Wisner, another good run there. Bounced it outside against that inside penetration from Oklahoma. First down to the Oklahoma 27.
Oh, that was a run. Good.
Yeah. Texas offensive line building confidence too.
I gotta tell you right now, he seems to be the back that's more compatible with the run blocking style of the O-line.
Agree, 100%.
Right? The patience and the vision, he seems to be more in tune with it right now.
There was, and we kind of talked about this before the season when Baxter went down. There was a reason Texas likes to play blue as more of a all-around gadget player running back and get him in space because they want to play him to his strengths. Yep. Running him inside in the inside zone is not playing him to strengths. That's more Trey Wisner. That was Cedric Baxter. That's more Jarrett Gibson. So 2nd and 10 here on the Oklahoma 27. We'll see. So I guess it's officially 2nd and 11. Quinn swings it out to Jaden Blue. This is where you want Blue, Rod.
Yep. Exactly right. You just described it. Yeah.
Extension of the run game. Get the ball in his hands, in space. Let him turn on his jets, accelerate to the sideline, picks up a first down.
Yep, that's exactly what and that's how they had him schemed up for that, I think, during the offseason. And by the way, that's essentially another version of empty formation, too.
Yep.
They do that jet motion, they put him out in the flat. You basically vacate the backfield that way. empty formation is working well. It's going to throw it out there. They should keep running. Empty formation has been really good in the passing game for them.
That was a good play there. I think that was Terry, 95, really beat the right side of the Texas offensive line. So on a little, let's see what they did. I don't think they pulled anybody on that. Now it's more of a slant play with Gunnar Helm pulling from the strong side of the formation or from the weak side of formation. So it's going to be 2nd and 12 on the Oklahoma 18 here. Ryan Wingo, of course, in the game the whole second half because Isaiah Bond's out with an injury. We've not heard anything on that, but 2nd and 12 coming here. Yeah. Texas again runs it wide with Trey Wisner. He breaks a tackle. Does a great job there. Breaking tackle, maximizing a run, setting up a 3rd and 2, Rod.
I mean, Trey Wisner, that's 2 weeks. I mean, last week he had a great game. And once again, he's having a hell of a game, man. I really he's the guy. He's ascending at this point. He's separating as your guy in the backfield.
They call a hold. I think that's going to be on DJ Campbell.
Come on.
That's going to take it to 2nd and 22 now. Looks like they called that on DJ Campbell right there on 90.
All right.
Boy, SEC calls holding. SEC refs call holding.
You know what? I've heard people say it, and I agree with it. You can call holding on every play if you really want to.
Yeah.
It's Oh yeah, that's obvious though. You're outside the pads on that one.
You got to call it.
Yep. Yeah, get outside the pads like that, you make it obvious.
That was a little quick shot to the field side of the formation. The Ryan Wingo 6-yard pickup is going to set up a 3rd and 17 from the Oklahoma 23. See what Sark calls here, dials up. Does he play for a field goal, Rod, at 3rd and 17?
Wow.
I think he might.
Yeah, you'll take it now because I think I'm with you. You'll take the field goal now. You missed your opportunity last time, and you can't count on Quinn, unfortunately, right now. But you can count on getting those points at this point. So you take the sure thing. The sure thing is the points. You still don't have to worry about Oklahoma's offense, but
no.
But I'm with you. You play for the points. You don't put Quinn in a position where he's trying to thread the needle here on 3rd and 17.
That was Oklahoma was playing about 10 yards off on that play, Rod Babers. So Quinn pretty much threw that ball away in a way. Nobody was going to get that one.
They knew. Yeah.
Need Bert Auburn to make a field goal.
Man, Ryan Wingo is just such a freak. I want to say Ryan Wingo, he's got how many? I believe he's got 9 first downs or touchdowns this year in all of his receptions. So he's got 12 receptions. 9 of them have come touchdowns or first downs.
Yep. 41-yard field goal, good by Bert Auburn. I agree with the chat. Bert Auburn needed to make one. He's had a couple of tough misses this year for him. Needed to make that one. So 24-3, 1 minute to go, 3rd quarter. Texas up to 365 total yards. Oklahoma at 119. Rod Babers, look, I know some people saying, why didn't Oklahoma change quarterbacks? What are you going to change to? What are you going to change to?
They don't trust him. I agree. They don't trust the. Well, I don't even know the situation with Jackson Arnold either. I don't know if that's maybe he doesn't want to play or does want to play. They said on the broadcast that he's invested and he was all in this week. I'm not sure what that means. But they practiced a certain game plan all week. I think they believe because of the lack of talent at wide receiver, having a quarterback that can be essentially someone that can hurt you from the pocket doesn't matter much against Texas right now. They need a quarterback that can move around.
That's right.
That basically narrows your choices down to Jackson Arnold or Michael Hawkins. And Jackson Arnold is a turnover machine. I know Michael Hawkins turned it over too, but Jackson Arnold, for almost every bit of sample size we have of him playing, says that he will turn over the football.
Yeah.
Period. In critical moments.
Yes.
Just he will.
Yes.
So,
totally agree. And here's the thing. The Texas pass rush is really getting home now. Since the first quarter, they are putting a lot of pressure on Michael Hawkins. Now, think if you take Michael Hawkins and those feet out of this game and you put in a Jackson Arnold or Casey Thompson, those plays he's even saving are turning into sacks, in my opinion. They have to have quick feet and playmaking ability, the quarterback, with this offensive line and the lack of wide receivers on the outside. They just have no choice here. And I think Hawkins is a better player long-term anyways. But putting Arnold or Thompson into this game, I'm not sure it doesn't hurt more than help.
Yeah. And I think that at this point, they're just trying to keep from getting blown out. They know what the result of this game is going to be. They just want to keep from getting blown out. Their defense is right now combined with, Quinn's inaccuracy right now, and right now Quinn's level of play. Yeah, they can. This is not. It's still going to cover the number that the real level is 16 or 17 or whatever it is before the game. I think it rolls to like 17 potentially. It's still going to cover the number. That's how good this team is, guys. And I'm with you. I don't know if they're going to go undefeated, because if you're not consistent, playing to a high standard and playing to their standard, then some team could upset you potentially. But last week they didn't play to their standard, and you can make the argument right now they're not playing to their standard, and yet they're still going to win by 3 touchdowns. Or they won by 3 touchdowns last week, and right now they're winning by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's that the team's got a really high ceiling. When it all comes together, you see how dominant they can be. And right now it's not all coming together, but I got faith that we've seen enough of Quinn to know that this is exception and not the rule. I think he's off. He's having an off game. Trust me, I remember having off games. He'll bounce back versus Georgia. No doubt, in my opinion.
No doubt. El Clayton, I don't know if you just came into the chat, but it's actually been the opposite. I don't know if you've missed the whole commentary, but it's actually been the opposite. All right, Texas kick it off here, 24-3, 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Kicks it about 4 yards deep, and Oklahoma hesitates. They're going to bring it out. Bad decision. Really bad decision. All right, so bad decision. Oklahoma only gets it out to the 12. So they're now.
I guarantee the special teams coach told them, you got to take the chance, man. You got to take
chance.
We
it's
don't.
He hesitated, right, Rod? He hesitated in the end zone.
You're right. He did, but you gotta go at this point. Your offense is giving you nothing, so you need something or some spark from another phase. So I understand that.
Ryan Nelson asked who I got, LSU or Ole Miss. Must-win game for Ole Miss. They better come through. If they lose this game, their playoff chances are about 0 with the schedule they have remaining. 4-man front for Texas. Little pitch and catch on the move by Michael Hawkins. Looked like Zion Kearney, the true freshman out of Hightower, getting some action. And hey, it's got to get down to him at some point. Everybody else is hurt. I think Brennan Thompson actually got hurt in this game. Zion Kearney out of Hightower, a big kid who could really run, 6'3", about 205, has 4.5 speed. Really good prospect out of the Hightower area that Oklahoma signed last year.
Yeah, he looks big too. Got some size on him. They like that 2-back set though against Texas. They run that a ton today.
There's a little play in the pocket. Oklahoma's going to go tempo here, right? They have to. This is what we've talked about. What are they going to do? They have to go tempo here. They have to speed everything up. They have to get out of their game plan and what they ideally want to do. But again, 2-back set, 2 wide, or actually widen the tight end to the field side, 1 wide receiver to the boundary side. We'll see if one of these back connections out.
It's one of his better throws. Yeah.
That's the end of the third quarter. Hey, Rod, here's a question. Jay Lee has a question. And I want I'm interested to see your answer next quarter tempo. I'm interested to see your answer. Jerry, we're in the 119th. We're 119th in the country in pressure blitzes. Why don't we bring more blitzes? Rod Babers?
I mean, they don't have to.
They don't have to.
In short, they don't have to. It's in multiple reasons they don't have to. Number one is they haven't played. Well, give me the elite quarterback and elite passing game they've played, so they have to deploy so many exotic pressure packages and blitzes. Who is it? Who's threatened them to that extent?
It's next week. The first quarterback they faced that's going to play in the NFL as a passer.
Yeah. So blitzing is rolling the dice. It's basically you're gambling. And I agree with this philosophy. A lot of defensive coordinators don't believe. Why would I gamble if I don't have to gamble? Right? If I can just play it straight, make money that way, why would I gamble? And my guys are better than your guys. Play it straight up, and my guys will beat your guys. So that I think is what right now is what's driving their low blitz rates. And also, I think for Texas, when they do play an elite, and even when you play Carson Beck, they don't have a prolific passing game. Carson Beck is an elite quarterback prospect.
Yeah.
But their passing game is not prolific.
All the receivers are getting kicked off.
Yeah. So even then, I'm not sure if you're going to have these very high business. And I'll give you a stat, by the way. Texas defense has the best coverage. If you look at yards per attempt allowed, going into this week, they have their lowest yards per attempt allowed without applying a pressure on the opposing quarterback. So with no pressure at all on the opposing quarterback, still Texas allowed 4.8 yards per attempt. Lowest number in the country. They can get organic pressure. Go look at Colin Simmons. They can get organic pressure. You got guys on your line that can get you organic pressure. Barron Sorrell, Trey Moore. There are guys that can do it. So I just think they don't really have to do it at this point. Maybe at one point in the season they will have to do that, but I haven't seen a team just kind of drop back and be able to beat Texas with straight drop back passing game. Georgia has the potential to do it, so we'll see if Georgia has to do it. But right now, you really haven't needed to do that very often.
Yep. Into the third quarter, Texas up 24-3. Some scores: Notre Dame 42, Stanford 7. No trees there. Purdue's come back, but Illinois up 34-28. Pitt holding on 17-15 at home against Cal. Pitt undefeated. Penn State's roared back 23-20. USC over Penn State, 13-42 to go in the fourth. Penn State ball. BYU undefeated and ranked 14 is about to beat Arizona. It's 24-10. Georgia's extended against Mississippi State, 27-10 there. Mississippi State does have the ball. So, look, unless something crazy happens, College Game Day is going to be in Austin next weekend, Rod, for Texas ranked 1, unless Ohio State annihilates Oregon. Texas ranked 1. Georgia's going to be ranked in the top 5. We're going to have that one top 5 matchup with Texas ranked 1 in one of the best atmospheres we've seen in Austin in a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be electric, man. And it should, it's, I think, going to be potentially the highest rated game of the season. It's got that kind of potential of the college football season so far. I'm not sure which one is. Texas, Michigan, I'm sure is probably in the top 3 to 5, but this will be the big daddy of the season. And I don't know if you'll get bigger than Texas, Georgia this year.
I don't think so. I can tell you from a recruiting standpoint, that's going to be a monster game. All right, Oklahoma back on the field, 24-3. First play of the second half, Oklahoma from their own 32. Michael Hawkins playing on the move in the pocket. Little dump down, kept his eyes up, dumped it down to Javonte Barnes. Texas linebackers closed in there. Zone coverage from the Horns there, Rod Babers. So we got 2nd and 4 coming up from the Oklahoma 38.
Yeah, keep everything in front of you.
Keep it in front of you.
Yeah, it's at this point, rally and tackle everything. If they want to dink and dunk their way down the field, that's great. That plays into essentially the game plan you want for your Texas.
2nd and 5, 2 receivers each side of the field. That misdirection again. Michael Hawkins fakes the handoff left side to Javonte Barnes and keeps it up the middle. Gets it to 3rd and very manageable. Going to be about 3rd and 2. Number of Texas players were getting penetration on that play. The outside run, the wide run might have been there actually on that play. We'll see. Maurice Blackwell in the game here. When Blackwell's been in the game, he's been spying Hawkins. We'll see what they do on 3rd and 2 there.
They've done some creative things with the spies. They've had, Colin Simmons spying, Anthony Hill spying, Mo Blackwell spying, David Benda spying. They have a lot of variety, a lot of diversity with the spies. I like that from Coach PK and Johnny Nansen.
That with Blackwell actually wasn't spying on that play. He was with Barnes in motion. They ran a little pitch forward to the tight end on that play to get the first down. Good little play design, play call there by Oklahoma. 1st and 10 from their own 42.
Ooh.
That's going to be, I think they called a hold on the interior of the offensive line. I think it was the left guard might have tackled somebody. I might be wrong. It looked like a tackle.
Not a hold, a straight up tackle.
Looked like a takedown. Let's see the replay.
Yep.
This will take it back to 1st and 20 on the Oklahoma 33.
At Oklahoma, they have enough time with 1st and 10, 1st and 20. I'm not sure. You might get a draw play. You might get a quarterback draw of some sign. I don't know what you do if you're first and 20 for Oklahoma.
All right, so first and 20 here. Ball on the Oklahoma 33, 13:25 to go in the game. Texas up 24-3. Split backs, actually full house backfield, but they'll motion out of that. So they're actually going empty here. 2 receivers to the boundary side of the formation, 3 split wide to the field side, empty set. Michael Hawkins in the pocket, has pressure from everywhere, and Anthony Hill.
Whoa.
Yeah. Where's Bob Shipley when we need a Gabe Eicher comment?
Yeah, Gabe Eicher said he was the worst player on the front 7, I believe, for Texas. Yeah, how's that working out for him?
4th sack for the Longhorns, Rod Babers. They're getting to that number. Bobby Burton gave me 4.5, and I didn't take it.
I mean, that means they got 10 in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
right?
Those sack numbers are going up quickly.
Yeah, they're starting. I mean, I talked to Brian Robertson about it, and he was like, they come in bunches, man. When they start coming, they come in bunches. They certainly are starting to come in bunches for Texas.
This was actually this play right here, Rod. Really good play by Vernon Broughton. This was just a little pitch and catch. They made this throw a number of times, kind of a little quick screen game, but not really set up as a screen game. But watch Vernon Broughton on this play. This was a really athletic play if they show us a replay. If not, it's going to be 3rd and 20 from the 33 for Oklahoma. 2 receivers to the boundary, 2 to the field side, 1 back split to the field side. Michael Hawkins in the pocket. Ethan Burke being held. They should have thrown a flag. Anthony Hill closes in on Hawkins, and I'm not sure. I guess he gets another sack.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Texas Rattlesnake saw the hold too. Ethan Burke got held on this play. Watch the replay here. Ethan Burke is held by the left tackle.
Oh, yeah, he just grabbed him.
Clear hold.
Wow.
Clear hold on that play.
Man, Anthony Hill. So is that a 3rd sack?
That is, I can't see, Matthew.
Do they count that? What do they count that as when he starts running? Did it become a ball carrier then? Tackle for loss?
I think he does.
So maybe it's a tackle for loss then, not a sack.
Punt time for Oklahoma. Left-footed punter gets it away. See if Silas Bolden wants to make another play. Here he goes. Got room, guys. Got a lot of room.
Whoa. Ooh. Wow. Oh, man. Great play.
DeAndre Moore, heck of a block, man.
Great. Yeah, I mean, that was bad. I mean, we've been waiting on a big return. Hadn't had one all year long. That was it. And that was everybody. Great block by DeAndre Moore. Putting his hands up. And then Silas Bolden turned the corner. Wow. Oh, man.
Somebody said Boss nearly got flattened on the sidelines. All right, we're going to go in 1st and 10, Oklahoma 18. Quinn, empty set. See if they motion it back, but Texas is setting up empty.
They've been grading empty so far today.
They have two receivers were to the boundary side with Wisner running back lined up on the boundary side out wide, so pretty much a bunch. And Gunnar Helm and an outside receiver Wingo to the field side.
They usually like that screen play when they run this. When they run empty out of 12. They did it versus Bama. They did it after 12. When they have 2 tight ends and the running back to the same side, they usually run that screen to that side.
Hey, it's good to see Silas Bolden making plays, man, because you have to have some stick-to-itiveness when you come in. Maybe it doesn't go the way you think it was early on, but staying with it. Silas Bolden, good coverage there. They're going to call a pass interference, it looks like. I thought it was good coverage, but McCullough was probably over the back of that play. So they're going to call that pass interference on Deshaun McCullough. So it'll be half the distance. Should be 1st down from the 12. Unless they pick this up.
Man, just keep targeting Wingo. Targeting Wingo works out well. It's never a bad thing. That was a PI. Targeting Wingo helps you. You just keep targeting that dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as a target because of the penalty, but what is he? How many targets does he have on the game? 5 on the day?
Yeah. So that's definitely interference, and they call. I couldn't see it from the other angle, but definitely interference. They spot foul, so they give it to him on the 20 for not half the distance. I was mistaken. 1st and 10 from the 20. So Rod, we're in the red zone, baby. Yes, Deshaun McCullough is a large human being, and he can really move. We had him in an ESPN Under Armour camp before I left ESPN, and he can really move.
He can run, huh? For a big man.
Hey, Rod, Deshaun McCullough at 6'5", I think he was 226,
Damn.
222. At that combine we had, he ran a 7 flat L cone on grass as a junior in high school and like a 3.98 shuttle. He can really change direction.
That is crazy.
I'll never forget that because I watched that and I was like, whoa, because I was over that camp and he said he wanted to come down, and I was like, that was tremendous showing athletically. All right, second 8, ball in the 18 here. 1 back, double tight. 2 wide receivers to the field side of formation. Little handoff inside zone to Trey Wisner. Going to kind of grind on this a little bit. About a 2-yard gain. It's going to set up 3rd and 6 from the Oklahoma 16.
Yeah, Sark is fine with it, I think. Kind of just grind it up.
In context, I said OU people leaving. But corn dog sales were up today. All right. So Texas has 3rd and 6 from the 16. We're inside 10 minutes on this play. I actually see Ryan Niblett in the backfield here. I don't think it'll be a run. So what are they going to do out of this formation? You have 2 receivers to the field side, 1 to the boundary. Ryan Niblett in motion. Gunnar Helm at the tight end. See what Quinn does. He's in the pocket standing in. Goes to Helm on the right side. And Gunnar Helm again, nifty, Rod, just nifty.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a good word for Gunnar Helm's, nifty.
I don't know. You ain't supposed to describe a tight end as nifty. I don't think any tight end wants to be described that way, man.
He's looking nifty this year.
You don't want to be nifty. No, describe him as explosive, athletic, dynamic, fleet-footed, nifty. No, I'm gonna say no. He's a dynamic player. You know what I mean? But I'm with you. It does seem nifty to us. Probably a proper description. But the empty outside is working for him, though. That was another empty, basically, when they abandon and they vacate the backfield.
Okay, so let's hope Jake Majors gets up here. He did. He got rolled up on a little bit. Good. I was a little concerned where I saw that guy fall on Jake Majors, but look at that competitiveness. He has not won out of this game. He missed this game last year.
Yeah, he did.
He does not, but look at that. He fell on. I mean, he got rolled into. He's lucky. But Jake Majors does not want out of this game. He wants to finish this game. Last one.
Damn right. It matters.
Oh, there it is. Producer Matt. God, why is that? That looks like Sam Bradford's kid.
You've been saving that one? Oh, man.
That's going to be out of bounds on the pass attempt there. Looks like that was to Matthew Golden. Quinn and Golden have really good rapport in the red zone, Rod. Quinn's got a lot of confidence in Matthew Golden to be in the right spot at the right time. Pretty good throw and catch there. Put it in the only spot his guy could catch. That's actually one of Quinn's 2 best throws of the game. I know it was tough catch and he was out of bounds, but that was actually a really good throw for where it had to be on that play.
Good catch still by the body control by Golden. You say he twisted his body around like that too to get it? Ooh. That's a man. Oh, yeah. It's good body control play, though, by Golden.
That throw to Golden was a little, maybe a half second late. Maybe a split second late. All right, so good job. Hey, Trey Wisner, a hidden play right there. He didn't try to do too much and turn it over. He got down. Play was over. Get down.
Yeah. No, they like what they saw at empty. Whatever they saw at empty, Sarkis like, all right, let's keep going back to it. It's working for us. And they were really good last year, actually. And they've been pretty good this year. I'll go back and get my notes and start and track it for you guys. But they were really good last year in the last 3 games in empty formation. And they've been pretty good this year. And I wonder if they'll start using it more. Because I'll tell you, Alabama killed Georgia in empty formation. Just straight up. Just a little preview.
Yeah. By the way, so Texas 3 of 5 in the red zone, but only 1. But 2 of those have been field goals. So 3 of 5 in the red zone. So Rod really 1 of 5 on touchdown. So first game this year that they maybe haven't converted at a high level in the red zone with touchdowns. But again, 27-3 here. Texas 374 yards. Oklahoma 149. I know there's a lot of bettors out there that aren't like Quinn. I think Quinn's 20 of 29 for 199. I think there was the 257 or something, 257 and a half out there number. Trey Wisner, 13 carries for 118, career high, I believe, rushing yards. Jaden Blue, 10 for 30. So the two running backs have combined for 23 carries for 148. Ryan Wingo has a 25-yarder as well. The run play, your run plays there, not Quinn, not quarterback run game. They've gone 24 for 173 yards against Oklahoma. So, Rod, I'm surprised. Seems like Oklahoma's been content to let Texas run the football and not really take a lot of risks in the second half. I guess they didn't want to get bombs away, thrown over the top on, but I'm just a little surprised.
I think they know how quick strike the offense is. If you're going to truly wave the white flag, you don't want to get blown out. You know your offense, can't do much against their defense. But now looking at Quinn, the way he's playing, you know Sark's not willing to gamble too much with Quinn. He's just not going to do it right now. Any coach watching is like, man, I'm not going to put too much in Quinn's hands. They put it in the hands of the offensive line. He's played really well. They put it in the hands of Trey Wisner, who's really stepped up to the plate for him now, over 100 yards. So I think just kind of playing the chess match. And they always say right in poker, sometimes you don't play the hand, you play the man. And I think Venables is playing the man. He knows Sark's not going to take any chances. Usually Sark's uber aggressive, taking a lot of chances. This is Sark's very conservative approach, and he has been forced into this approach by Quinn's level of play. And there's no reason to risk it, because the only thing that can hurt this is basically you turning over the football and non-offensive touchdowns. And if you throw it too much, you could risk a non-offensive touchdown, potentially fumble recover for a touchdown, or a pick six or something like that, because Quinn is off. Why not go with what's working and what has been consistent so far? And that is your running game, and that's Trey Wisner. They've still thrown it enough with Quinn. They're not totally abandoning Quinn, but I don't know if they want to. And there were some games where they'll put the game in his hands. They did that in the Michigan game. You ain't doing that in this game.
No. Hey, Junior Dogs, at least Bobby can breathe at this point in the game. It's totally true.
Yeah. Hey, I'm confident.
Bobby's ready for the post game. Bobby's going to be on fire in the post game.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby's going to be upset. But like I said, there's no need to worry. Texas, even Longhorn fans know, okay, your offense is playing bad, but Oklahoma poses no threat. That's rare. Where they pose no threat at all for a comeback. And they just don't. That's not going to happen. But we got to play Georgia next week, and I guess we can already start looking ahead to Georgia. Yeah. And that will be a different discussion altogether. You play like this versus Georgia, I doubt you're able to win that game. I'll say that straight up.
Texas 27-3, 7:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma will scrimmage from their 25, showing some highlights. Oh, here's Bevo going after the Georgia Bulldog before the Sugar Bowl.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This is a big rematch for Bevo this week. Big rematch for Bevo.
I'm going to be showing that a lot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
All right,
is that Uga still with us? Is that Uga still that exact Uga?
That's a good question.
Because I don't know. I thought Uga, man, I gotta go look it up. I don't want to put some bad mojo on Uga, but I thought there may have been some change there. I gotta go check it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check it out.
All right. So again, 27-3. Oklahoma has the ball in the 25. They have 148 total yards. Texas up to 5 sacks, so they did get credit for that sack on that third down, Rod Babers. So that give Anthony.
I think it is. It's the same Uga. No,
same Uga. Okay.
No, there is new Uga. No, there is a new. Okay, thank you, Ski Brad. I thought I read something about that, but I wasn't sure.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was thinking that was 6 years ago now, 6.5. So
yeah.
So again, Texas has 5 sacks on the day. Oklahoma only has 1, but they got a lot of pressure in the first quarter and a half of this game. 148 total yards. Third down conversions, Texas 5 of 13, Oklahoma 2 of 10. Fourth downs, Texas 0 of 1. Average yards per play, Texas 6.4, Oklahoma 3.1. So total domination here. The one thing I've noticed, Rod, early on in this game, Oklahoma had a pretty good game plan offensively for what they actually have. There's a lot of misdirection, running back going one way, Michael Hawkins going the other, trying to get a little something easy in the passing game, but keep the Texas linebackers false stepping if they could. Make the Texas edges stay at home. Kind of open some things up in the for the QB running up the middle or running back up the middle, but a lot of misdirection. But after Texas kind of got a feel for what Oklahoma was doing, I think Oklahoma had 54 yards in the first quarter, so they're under 100 yards the last 2 quarters of this game. So once Texas got a feel for what Oklahoma was doing, and then they started winning those matchups up front when they knew what the Oklahoma offense was doing, it's become extremely difficult for the Oklahoma offensive line because they are not very good, and it showed after the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, let's just try to remember here. How many throws has Michael Hawkins had past 15 yards?
He had one to Manny Muhammad early in the game from the boundary side.
One,
and that's maybe 2 is how he's
maybe
had
2. Like I said, maybe that's what we missed. We just can't think of it. So to me, I'm a DB in the game, and I'm thinking like, dude, they're not even throwing it. He's not even looking our way when they're running past 15 yards. So I just think everybody starts to get a little bit more aggressive, a little inching closer and closer line of scrimmage, get more aggressive. And usually an offense will make you pay for that. It'll make you pay for being overly aggressive and cheating a little bit and flat foot reading things. Oklahoma's not making Texas pay for it. So Texas, that aggression has overwhelmed them now. And now there's nothing they can do. Usually you make them pay for that. They can't make Texas pay for it. So that's what you're watching. And like I said, he's probably throwing the football over, 20 yards once and 15 yards 2 or 3 times. That's it, the entire game. And at this point, you'd be a fool. You'd be a fool for backpedaling. You'd be a fool for backpedaling too much because they're not doing it that point.
Yeah, exactly. So 2nd and 3 there. Good little misdirection play by Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly.
Shallow crosser, 7-yard gain on first down. Got stuffed on the inside run game here on 2nd down. Really good job. Alfred Collins beating the double team. Maurice Blackwell cleaning it up behind him. So that's going to create a 3rd and 3 from the Oklahoma 32.
Yep. These guys, you can tell that they're just flying around. They're flying to the football. Their first keys, they're fast flow with every first key. So usually, you can have like something that would be a great kind of deceptive counter to guys being overly aggressive.
Yeah,
right now Oklahoma's doing none of that. Bootleg, waggle, misdirection. It's not working for them right now because Texas is just teeing off. Oh, Kyle says, with Texas playing like this, do they still lose the number 1 spot to the winner of OSU Oregon? I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Look, I'll say this. 27-3, when your quarterback has not played well, is a dominating performance. Ohio State would need to go into Eugene and there's Bobby and dominate. Ohio State would have to go into Oregon and totally dominate that game to jump Texas. Texas is playing really well. Quinn's not playing well today. Texas is playing really well, and they're up 27-3 when the quarterback's is having his worst game of the season, honestly.
Worst game of the season.
Hey.
What's up, Bobby?
You're talking about all that? We're up 4 scores in the 4th quarter. Exactly. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Tell me, Rod B, this ain't a sweet feeling.
I told him when I came on, I said, listen, you haven't played to your standard 2 weeks in a row, and you're gonna win by 3 touchdowns. And each time you're gonna win. That's how good team is. And what I'll say, folks, I'm trying to, I'm saying positive. I know a lot of Longhorn fans want to get straight to the negative, and we'll get to that. But I've always talked about the Sark runs. Like Sark's teams are built on runs where they separate from you, and you look up. It's like the Golden State Warriors in their prime. You're like, what the hell happened? I was in this game, and now I'm down, 3 scores. And it happened with the defense this time.
Guys, oh my gosh. They gave Matthew Golden a second chance.
Wow. He doubled down on it.
This time he threw it up high, and he took it away from number 3, the Spears Jennings.
I'm sad because CJ was almost right. He said somebody other than Quinn was going to have a passing touchdown. He was almost right. He was close.
Woo! This is happening.
Hey, Gunnar Helm continues to
Yes.
make money this year.
Yep, making money. And who's going to be first team all conference at tight end?
He's got a shot.
Yeah, hell yeah, he does.
Got a shot.
Hey, I'll see y'all on post game. I just want to come in here, talk a little smack.
Hey, Bobby, what's that button you're wearing, Bobby? On your shirt?
Says, if you can't read it, it says OU sucks. I got it at the tailgate today, courtesy of some good folks.
How about this hat? This is what my son's been wearing.
What are
He's got a couple of
Did we just see Quinn? Did we just see Quinn Ewers? Did we just see Quinn Ewers take a zone read? I think we did. Woo! Yeah, that half of the Cotton Bowl is gone. Gone.
Kind of I wonder if Michael Fasusi's.
Hey, I think that lady was at our hotel, Jerry.
That
She
may
looked
be.
happier this morning.
I wonder if Michael Fasusi's still there. I guess we'll find out.
Hey, y'all have fun, Rod. I'll see you on post game, buddy.
All right, brother.
All right, Brian Robeson will be joining us, guys.
See you, Bobby.
Hey, Jazz, give me that hat again. I think people missed that. I want to see that. This is what my son's been wearing, Rod.
I like that. Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Oh, man.
So
Yeah,
34-3. 34-3, Rod.
Now it's going to be hard. Like I said, it'll be hard to take away the number one ranking.
No.
I know you ain't got, because they don't watch the games. They don't really care about that. They're just concerned with, did you blow them out or not? How competitive was the game? And it was a pretty big blowout. I mean, it was competitive for a quarter and a half, pretty much.
Yeah. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, if nobody watched this game and they just looked at the highlights in the box score, they're going to see 34-3, 406 yards to 155 right now. Nobody's moving anybody on one.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I said, it was a dominant performance really by the defense, not necessarily by the offense. We know that. But I would say the running game, that is also, to me, one of the highlights. We've been talking about how this running game hasn't asserted itself so far this year. That they weren't really able to impose their will. I remember somebody asking me, hey, what do you think the weakness of this Texas defense? The Texas offense. And I said several times, I think it's the running game. The running game really hasn't shown that it can go out there and dominate and win you a game if you needed to. No, I would say this game, I think, was the example of them. Your running game had to go win it for you because Quinn couldn't do it today. Yeah, running game won you a game. And a line of scrimmage contest versus Oklahoma, one of the better defenses in the country. So I think that's the highlight. That's another highlight for me.
I want to say this. Koshi Samuel, I can't plus for the OL. Look, Oklahoma is a really good defensive front and front seven. Yeah. Really good players, number of NFL players.
Yeah.
So they had some pressure early in this game, as you'd expect them to. It was a high energy. They came into this game. Texas offensive line in the run game did some work today. They really did some work. Now, Oklahoma was going to play even on the box, maybe +1, but Texas offensive line showed how good they are. After the first half of the first quarter, they started to settle in. And to me, that's why this was an offensive line game for me, Rod. If the Texas offensive line turned into Michigan level performance, then they were going to win the game. Because if they could negate the strength of the Oklahoma team, which is the front seven defensively, it's like you've been saying all week. How is Oklahoma going to score the ball to keep up? They weren't.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I'm with you on that offensive line. So I believe, didn't this past week, I believe the Texas got some recognition from the Joe Moore Award too. Yep. Seems fitting that they would come out there and show out today. And you're right, that they were the dominant element, I think, today. I mean, I'll give Trey Wise some props too, but when you look at overall, it was the offensive line, because even when Quinn was off, Quinn had time, a lot of those opportunities. I know they got to him early on, but you're talking about a team that was top 10 coming in sacks. So Oklahoma's going to be able to get some pressure on Quinn. They got to him once, but that was about it. Most of Quinn being off was on Quinn. It wasn't necessarily there was a guy right in his face every time.
By the way, I just got a text from somebody. Just got a text from somebody. Absolutely, Rod Babers. Just got a text from somebody in the stadium. That hold on, let me get to this. Dad, go with my phone passcode. All right. Chapman and Ogbo just changed from the 80s jerseys, Rod. Like I think you were on to something there, but they just have to go to their normal OL jerseys. So Chapman and Ogbo are your jumbo package. I'm sure we'll see that at some point. Maybe break that out against Georgia next week or Kentucky or somebody. But they've changed the OL numbers, which means Texas is about the sub in seconds.
Yeah, that means pretty much Texas is done. They believe now that the mission is completed. The mission is finished. Give some of the backup some chance to get in there.
All right, so 2nd and 7, Oklahoma from their own 28, two back, split back in the backfield, run a little counter with Javonte Barnes and running back lead backer, gets a yard. Really good job. Bill Norton, Georgia signee, played 3 years at Georgia, was a backup player, third teamer on the D-line, transferred to Arizona, had a really good season for a 10-3 Arizona team, transferred to Texas, makes a play there, squeezes down against the counter. It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the Oklahoma 30 here. Michael Hawkins split backs once again, 2 receivers to the boundary, 1 to the field. That one in the slot's a tight end, now in motion to the field side. Michael Hawkins will take the snap here with about 4:19 to go. He's looking left in the pocket, finds an open receiver, about a 16-yard gain.
It might be the longest game they've had in the passing game.
Yep. So we got backups in on defense, and that's why this is going to happen. That was Toby Black on the coverage. Ty Anthony Smith's in the game. Vosick, who's been playing, but he's in the game. So Texas has a bunch of second-team defensive guys, and nobody wants the touchdown. Nobody wants Oklahoma to score. Yeah. I get that for sure. Yeah. So Justice Finkley in the game. Gavin Holmes down at corner. Got some young safeties. I think Jordan Johnson-Rebel may be in the game here. They flush Michael Hawkins. He's looking for room to roam. He gets about 3 yards going to the field side of the formation. Is going to set up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, I still think Texas should be able, even with some of their backups in there largely, I think Texas should be able to hold them without a touchdown. I mean,
William Neese says Georgia's on my mind. I'm sure there's a song about that, right? All right. So Georgia Bulldogs did take care of Mississippi State, setting up the top 5 matchup next week. We'll see if Georgia has any players arrested this week or if they come in close to full capacity. All right, little backside run counter there. Colton Vosick did a good job. Defensive tackles did a good job. Jelani McDonald, back healthy, did a very good job filling there, Rod Babers.
They've been playing a lot of Jelani McDonald. I saw him early in the game, too, out there.
Hey, Rod, against Mississippi State, let's talk about that. Derek Williams, and we hope he's okay, man. I'm fearful for Derek Williams right now. Derek Williams and Jelani McDonald, not 100%. Williams didn't even play against Mississippi State. That helped Mississippi State in the run game. Those are the 2 most physical safety defenders for Texas against the run. And they didn't play against Mississippi State much at all, or Derek Williams at all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It does. I mean, those are the guys that come down and run the alley really well for you. Really kind of set those edges sometimes for you too when running backs are getting ready to pop a run to the outside, to the perimeter. So I think for Texas, Taft Daddy's been a guy they've been putting down at linebacker depth a few times, so they trust him being able to tackle. I've seen Makuba come down. He's not as physical as Derek Williams or Jelani McDonald, I think, when they come down and field the alley, but he can get it done. He can bring down guys in the open field too. So they have safeties that I think they're up to the task. You just may not be as formidable as you were with those guys who are also some of your best tacklers in the secondary.
All right, so good pass rush there from a number of Texas players, leads to a 3rd and 16. Yes, Tommy, Bill Norton did get held on that. Chris Fowler even said that was holding. That was a clear hold. 3rd and 16, Oklahoma on their own 36 here. We're at 2:53 remaining in the game. They're showing Cooper Manning and his wife there. The Mannings are very happy with Arch at Texas, as is Arch. Arch is waiting his turn, getting experience. A little pass in the flat there to the boundary side of the formation will bring up a 4th and 9 on the Oklahoma 43. Danny Stutzman's the lead at making tackles 8 yards downfield. Definitely when the Texas offensive line gets it going downhill. Thank you for the super chats, Juan Garza. Got to give Kenny Baker a lot of credit. Kenny Baker's a tremendous pass rush coach, guys. Tremendous pass rush coach. He wanted better.
Yeah.
KD, I'm the best. Oklahoma's going for this. I think that's a interesting.
What they got to lose? They're down 34-3.
And he
what are they supposed to do? 34-3.
That's by the way, if you're watching the TV right now, that's Hyde Manning in front of Cooper. That's Arch's brother at the game, obviously with Cooper and Arch's mom there. We had another super chat from KD, 34. I'm not going to lie, Texas came out flat. Give all the credit in the world to Silas Bolden. That was a great hustle play. Turned this game. They completely turned this game. I totally agree. Those plays are always underrated, but they are huge plays.
That was one of those iconic plays Longhorn fans are going to remember forever. Because I agree, the game was still in the balance then, and then it tipped the scales. After that, it was just a snowball effect of momentum. That's when Texas monopolized all the momentum, and they never gave it back. But before then, the momentum actually was going a little bit back and forth between both teams.
Yeah. All right, so where we're at there, 2-minute warning, timeout, whatever we call it here. Texas up 34-3. They've given up some yards here on this series with the backups in. 194 yards for Oklahoma, 406 for Texas. Third downs, Oklahoma 3 of 13, converted that fourth down there. They're 1 of 2 on fourth down. Texas 5 of 13. Texas 5 sacks in this game. 5 sacks, as Rod said, those sack numbers are going up. That's 6 and 5, 11 in 2 weeks headed into the Georgia game. Georgia offensive line not exactly healthy. All-American Tate Ratledge is out. Can someone get Cooper a bigger hat? Is that possible?
No, but think about the numbers. You're talking about you got 11 sacks, right, in the last 2 games, and obviously this game's not over with yet. And yet your opponents, how many rushes did Mississippi State have? 50?
Yeah.
And Oklahoma's got 37, damn near 40 rushes. So 87 rushes in the last 2 weeks too. So think about it. You ain't had a lot of opportunity to get those sacks. Most of the sacks in Mississippi State came in the second half. I believe it was 4 out of the 6 or 5 out of the 6 sacks came in the second half of that game. And in here, obviously in this Oklahoma game, most of the sacks are coming later on in the contest too. So I think that shows you that this group is starting to figure it out. They're starting to trend in the right direction. They're not even getting a lot of opportunities. These teams aren't throwing the football a lot. They're running the football majority, and Texas still putting them in predictable passing situations and being able to cash in on those opportunities.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And like you said, to your point, Rod, 5 sacks and 22 pass attempts. That's great. A high number.
That's a good hit rate.
Yeah. And somebody asked, is Oklahoma the worst team in the SEC? No, they're not the worst team in the
Mississippi
SEC.
State might be.
Mississippi State Oklahoma may have the worst offense in the SEC, though.
Yes, it is. I agree with that. It is the worst offense in the SEC.
But they're not the worst team because they're deep. But I will say this, Oklahoma's schedule is not friendly. I mean, Michael Hawkins, that offensive line is going to have to improve and at least give him a chance. You think Deion Burks will be back later in the season.
Yeah.
But you're not sure when. But Oklahoma, that schedule is not friendly. They have Ole Miss, they have Bama, they go to Missouri. They got a tough schedule left. Brent Venables in year 4 is not going to be a fan favorite up there right now in Oklahoma. Texas, by the way, Georgia wins. Let's get a few more scores here for you guys that are in the chat that aren't looking at scores. I'll go to my Real app. If you don't have the Real app, REAL, that's amazing. Purdue's come all the way back and leads Illinois 43-40. USC Penn State 30-30, 2.5 to go in that game. Georgia 34-24 over Mississippi State. BYU, Rod Babers, who had the worst offense in America last year, is undefeated and about to be ranked in the top 10, maybe.
Crazy. Man, college football is wild.
David Benda with a play in space there. Again, that's going to bring about 2nd and 7 on the Texas 43. But David Benda back in the game. Jolly McDonald's, a mix of some starters and backups in the game. Alex January, 97 in the game at defensive line, lining up wide right now in like a 7 on this play, which is interesting to me.
They've been putting a lot of their linebackers in the B gap, mugging their linebackers in the A and the B gap. in this game, and then dropping them as spies.
Hey, let me tell you something. Ty Anthony Smith, Quentin, great timing. Ty Anthony Smith that dude plays well above his weight class, Rod Babers, with quickness and explosiveness.
Yeah, he looks like a DB out there.
He does.
With the number, like, oh, it's a DB. It's like, no, he's not a DB. He looks like a DB because of the number and how fast he flies around the football. He's always coming downhill on something.
I think if they call this, I think Ty Anthony Smith may get a late hit here. Okay, I'll call a hold. I was going to say, give me a break. They call a hold on the edge. Would Tatum had the space there. Here's the golden hat they're bringing out.
Bringing the golden hat, baby. Nice. Bring it on back where it belongs. Damn right.
Sean's asking about Bond's injury status. I have not heard. He walked into the locker room on his own, limping clearly. I have not heard anything on Isaiah Bond. Hopefully he's back next week, though. We'll see. I'm also concerned about Derek Williams' right knee or ankle. That one didn't look good at all in the second half kickoff.
How many targets did Bond have in the end of the game when he left? Was it 2 or 3?
2 or 3. Texas really playing that soft coverage here. Get a little easy pitch and catch for Michael Hawkins there. Down to 45 seconds, it's going to be first down on the Texas 36-yard line. They put in the first team guys. A few of the first team guys are back. They don't want to give up the touchdown here. Manny Muhammad back in the game. Sark does not want to give up a touchdown.
That is wild. He put Colin Simmons back in the game. You're right. They're putting some of the starters back in. I love it. That is fantastic.
There's Michael Huff with the golden hat. Yeah, they need Michael Huff's guns to carry that out the midfield, Rod.
I don't know why Michael Huff is still lifting weights. I still don't know why he's still. Every time I see him, I'm like, why are you still lifting, man? What's going on? Why are you so swole?
1st and 10 on the Texas 25 here. Oh, 2nd and 3, sorry. Texas does not want to give up the touchdown. A heck of a play by Michael Hawkins there. Actually, that was really good pass rush by Texas, by Trey Moore. I think Barron Sorrell as well, but he completes that pass. It's first down. Now in the red zone, Oklahoma's first trip in the red zone in this game, I do believe. So first time in the red zone, Texas is not going to give up the touchdown.
Yeah, it's got to be. I love that you put some of the starters back in. That is fantastic. Well done.
He has his backup safeties in Jelani McDonald and Jordan Johnson-Rubel, but he went back with the first team front, and there's a roughing the passer. They're trying to give Oklahoma the touchdown here.
They got Ja'Day at the nickel. Yeah, they're serious. They're like, hey, we're serious about this, damn it.
So we'll see. Oklahoma's going to get a good crack at it now. So we're down to 15 seconds, 1st and goal. Sorry, our screen here with the stats, the clock is not running on the screen. That's the feed. But there's 15 seconds to go. Clock's now running inside 10. If Texas can tackle them here, incomplete pass over the middle. So we have 2nd and goal, 7 seconds to go, maybe 2 plays left for Oklahoma here. If they can keep them in bounds here, then that'll be the last play of the game. If Brent Venables calls a timeout, that'd be ridiculous. So 2nd and goal coming up here.
Oh, that guy was open, though.
He was open.
He was open. That's for sure. I know.
So here we go. 2nd and goal from the 6.5-yard line. They put 10 seconds on the clock. Bill Norton, 2nd team front in the game here. They flush Hawkins. They're going to get him down. He fumbled it, picked it back up. Oh, my gosh. Threw it out of bounds. That's a heck of a play by Michael Hawkins. My voice is going quickly.
That showcased all of his athleticism and his explosivity all in one play. Yeah. Is about ability to improvise.
That was Jermaine Lolay, I believe, with the cause fumble.
Look at that dude. That was crazy. Great play.
Last play of the game, Rod. I know you got to get out of here and do the post game. So Appreciate you hanging in with me after Aaron lost his connection there.
No, man, no worries at all. It was a pleasure. Hell, watching Texas win, not just win, putting Old Testament style butt whipping on Oklahoma.
There you go. And he throws it away to end the game.
Yeah,
34-3 your final. All right, we got the post game. Thanks for joining
all right,
us.
brother.
Right
I'll
back
see you,
to
Jerry.
It'll be Bobby Burton, Brian Robeson, Rod Babers, for Aaron Hogan, for Bob Shipley, for Rod Babers. This has been Jerry. This is Jerry Hamilton. Thank you very much for joining us. We had over 4,000 people, 5,000 at one point in time. Texas dominates this game today. Doesn't even play their A game. 34-3 final. Bobby, Brian Robeson, Rod Babers, they got you on the post-game show coming up right now on Texas Football. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Continued support of On Texas Football. Hook 'em. Congrats. Top 5 matchup of Georgia next week. College Game Day will be in Austin. 30-plus 4-star and 5-star recruits. It's going to be going down in Austin next week. Thank you very much, Texas fans. Thanks for all the support of On Texas Football. We love you.